So, how are you? You good?
Very good. So,
what do you got? You want to talk about headphones, apparently?
That's it. This year we emphasize on headphones.
Okay.
So we're showcasing our 3 pair of headphones. Listen Professional. Basically, it's the Swiss Army knife kind of headphone. You know, very versatile. I would recommend it for tracking. Right.
Okay.
So you're in a live room. You want something robust, good isolation, nothing
Price
leaks.
wise?
$259.
How much?
$259.
Oh, good.
Euros.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. I want to do a quick comparison shot.
Yeah.
So send me where?
This guy.
Open back?
That's the no. It's closed.
Oh.
Supposed to be, I would say, tuned and designed for mixing on the go.
Okay.
Very light, very comfortable.
With all these holes, I thought it was open back.
No, they are not. And as you can see, this is one of our pairs where we introduce, like on the Clear MG Pros, the drivers are very forward and angled, so that the sound hits our pavilions as if we were in front of a pair of monitors. So the sound stage is going to be really natural. Right?
How much?
$699.
I mean, a lot more definition in the high mids, but I did like the low end on these.
Right?
Yeah, a little bit more smiley faced, probably. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the ultimate tool.
Oh yes. Now we're talking.
That's it. Like Darrell, no Darrell Thorpe.
Yeah.
Like you would say.
Yeah.
I didn't know I needed it before I, tried it.
I know Darrell very well.
I know.
I was texting with him earlier. Great work. Yeah. And what are they? 1,300 or something?
1,500.
1,500 now. Well, I'm a little bit out of context from the last time I was looking at prices. Okay, great. But these are surprisingly good.
Yeah.
These are really good for the price.
That's it.
Exceptional.
Value for money.
And I did like that little extra oomph in there, smiley face.
Especially imagine you're a musician.
Yeah, right? You want to enjoy it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's interesting, yes. If you're tracking, you kind of want it to be a bit flattering, a bit more than
absolutely. But if you're the guy within the live room,
I remember the first time I heard this, I got a little scared because I was listening to Bohemian Rhapsody at the beginning, and I heard.
I remember that.
Yeah, I got little inflections in Freddie's voice that I hadn't heard before, and I was like, oh. And then I listened to a mix I'd done, which was my favorite ever vocal mix, and I was like, oh, I would have done it differently.
Sorry about that.
Yeah. No, these are wonderful. These are wonderful. Yeah. Great. Very, very generously, we have been given a pair of these to give away, the Listen Professionals. So you know how to do it. There will be a link down below. It's like a raffle, so the more actions you do, the more entries you get, and you can win a pair of Listen Professionals.
Absolutely.
I'm Roman, nice to meet you.
What's your name, sorry?
Roman.
Roman!
Like the
Great
ancient
name.
Romans, yeah.
Off camera, I just literally went down the line here and listened to them all.
Sure.
This?
That's my favorite. That's the 900 Pro X.
Yeah.
That's the most linear one we have.
Yeah. Although these, what are these?
That's the close-back brother. So it's the same driver, same design, but close-back.
Yeah. There's more 3K on this. You get more, a little bit more 3K.
So we would say, I mean, it's.
So this is more linear, so
yeah, that's the most linear that we have. Yeah.
Yeah. This would be for you, probably for some of the rock guys who want to get in there and do some detail work in guitars and vocals and stuff like that.
Normally you would say, close back, right? So this is the new iteration of our Studio Legend, the 7070.
Yeah.
Everyone knows it's good for recording, for monitoring, even for listening music.
Yeah.
But some people, maybe they want to also mix with it because they like the headphone. I wouldn't kind of recommend it. I mean, people can do what they want, right?
No, I understand.
But they have a bit of an accentuated high profile.
Yeah.
You can rule it out with our headphone lab right now.
Sure.
But speaking about close back, this one actually, that what I can say, it might work for mixing as well, right?
Yeah,
so
I think if you, depends what you grow up on. If you grew up on like, you're the other side of 40, for instance, you probably remember NS10s and high mids and aggression.
Yeah,
you do remember that?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, so maybe these are quite sweet, but these do take the prize. So
that's what I said. In the end, it's like really personal thing. Yeah.
But how much are these?
240 something MSRP euro.
That's really good. So
that's really good.
Have you brought your prices down for the DT900s?
That was kind of. I think it was always like this with this one. Yeah. This is absolutely because this is my personal favorite, and the good thing is.
I mean, going down the Rhine, it was this number one, these number two.
Yeah.
The choice of music, they've got some ambient stuff going on, and you hear like low end coming in, you hear like this super high stuff, and there's mid-range detail stuff, and it allows you to enjoy it a little bit more because it's not just hitting you in the head. which is most of SuperBooth, which is okay. This is the synth capital of the world after all. But it's really good because I can move from one to another and I can hear the differences in the ambience. So
that's what we're here for.
Yeah, quite smart. Who came up with the idea of this track? It's good. They're nice and smooth on their tops. And then the 990 Pro doesn't quite have the same low end as that, does it? What's the difference between this and the Pros?
You mean price-wise? Or
yeah,
no,
price-wise.
Price-wise. So that's the 990 Pro, that's also in the line of our classics one. This is similar like the DT7070.
Yeah.
So it's about 130, something like this.
Really?
Yeah. So there's also a new iteration like the 7070 Pro X, so that has a DT numbers. 990 Pro X, that is around 200 euros, so it has a detachable cable, it has a modern driver. This is the classic one. We kind of don't change it because people love it since 30 years-ish, something.
Yeah, I understand.
But the interesting thing is also with our headphone lab. You can see it here down there. This is our approach of a calibration feature. There's already many solutions out there, but as we are the vendor of our headphones, of course, we know it best, so we try to take it a little bit further. So from just talked about the 700 and the 900 Pro X, and with these two models, there's a nice little add-on because we offer the factory calibration. And what is the factory calibration? The factory calibration takes in account also these tiny manufacturing tolerances, right? Because you cannot rule out tiny manufacturing differences which matter acoustically. So we measure every unit in our manufacturing chain and record that data. And in that headphone lab, you can type in your serial number for these two models and get that data from our servers, and you have an even more precise individual calibration based on your unit.
Nice.
Right? That's actually a USP by us, is only done with our headphone lab.
So these headphones that I have just fallen in love with, the DT900 Pro X, the lovely people at... how do you do this in properly? See, there's Beyer and Beyer. Beyerdynamic? Beyer?
Yeah, it's more Beyerdynamic.
Beyerdynamic, yeah. And I hear both, especially in the US. Yeah.
I think it's just like, if you think about our founder, Eugen Beyer, actually they say more Beyer, but the name, as I hear it, our company name is more like known as Beyerdynamic, more like E.
More like an E, okay. Well, the lovely guys over there have generously given us a pair of these to give away. So you're going to enter down below, and you know the thing, it's a raffle, so you can enter if you want to give your email address. You get extra entries if you want to sign up for Twitter and bloody, but whatever. There's all these different things. You get more entries, so enter to win a pair of headphones that I've just fallen in love with called the DT900 Pro X's. So we're here, AEA, with Julie.
Hello, Warren. Good to see you.
Always good to see you.
Thank you, likewise.
What do you got going on?
Well, right now, I mean, unfortunately, in a bit you'll talk to Joey and we'll talk about our two preamp. Right now, we're just showing our product line, the same one that we showed at NAMM.
It's okay, we love it.
We're really emphasizing the N28, which was the stereo mic that we released last year.
Lovely.
It's taken off on its own. You know, our R88 is kind of the stalwart stereo recording mic for the studios. Sure. And the reason that we tried to size down is because a lot of people are saying, like in live applications, that mic was just too big.
Right.
And initially people were kind of not certain that this one was going to perform at the same level as the other one, but they're realizing that this is still a fantastic mic. And we've got a lot of early adapters that realize now that having a small stereo mic is a very easy solution to doing live video music content, like live performances, and just throwing up one mic and then basically get high fidelity audio, and you can easily plug it into a video.
Live, real people playing music?
Yeah, I know.
Wow.
I heard that happened last century, but apparently the kids are bringing it back now.
Yeah. Good, yeah, the kids are actually. in London, there's like so many of these like young jazz players.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Anyway, so that's great. This is obviously a personal favorite.
It is, and that thing has caught fire right now. We've got a bunch of them on the road with Foo Fighters for guitar amp mics.
Great.
Paul Simon's on the road, as you know from last year.
Yeah.
You know, with about 18 of our microphones, and he's on tour this year.
It's interesting. The whole it's an old stigma that nobody growing up with anymore. But it was always like, oh no, ribbon mics, they're really dark. You can't use them.
Yeah.
Everybody always thinks of a Coles, which is a great mic. Don't get me wrong.
It's a fantastic mic.
It's a great mic. But I think most ribbon mics to people of our generation was like a Coles in front of the kit, just giving you kind of some warmth and whatever.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and part of that too. I mean, as you know, like us older folks remember recording the tape.
Yeah.
Is by the time you bounce the tracks around.
Exactly.
A couple dozen times on acetate, you kind of lose fidelity. And then so you want something that's really sharp and bright that shines through. But now that we're all recording digitally,
we don't need it.
So record it the way your ears hear them, and that's how you're going to hear them all back.
And the thing about this on a guitar amp, which I presume is what the Foo Fighters are using it on, it just sounds like a really well EQ'd, ready to go guitar amp mic. You don't have to do any work.
Well, and that is the point, as Wes Dooley always said. Capture sound as your ears hear them.
Yep. Amazing. This is great.
Yeah.
So what have you got that's new? You're going to pass us over and tell us about your preamp? Is that what's going on?
I'm going to pass you over.
Okay.
And I'll pass you over to the gentleman who's developing it, and he knows everything about it.
Okay.
Can I give you one more hug?
Yeah, of course. So what have we got going on?
Good to see you.
So what do you got that's new and nutritious?
Okay, so we've been working away in the workshop. We're really closing in on the final design and getting ready to release it. Is our tube preamp. It's a 2U, 2-channel, fully balanced hybrid tube JFET mic preamp. So
say that when you're drunk.
Okay. I'm not drunk.
No, that's what I mean. I can tell you're not.
Not yet. We're using a Lely 1-to-2 input transformer. It's a tube JFET cascoded, and then stage 1 is a 12AX7. We're probably going to use electro harmonics. And then new old stock Toshiba JFET's buffer stage between each stage, stage 2, 12AU.
Have you gone out and bought about 1 billion of those?
No, they don't seem to have any supply chain issues.
For NOS?
Yeah. Oh no. This is the current coming out of.
Oh, you said new old stock.
Oh no, new old stock Toshiba JFETs.
Okay.
Yes. So electro harmonics, new stock.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And then new old stock Toshiba JFETs.
And
as the buffer stage.
And you've got a lot of those.
Yes.
Okay. Good.
Yes.
Just checking. That's what I meant. The NOS stuff.
Yes. And those are the same ones, the same N channel ones that we're using in our compressor and the discrete op amp. So
your mic pre's, I'm going to say this to the camera. Your mic pre's are, I wouldn't say undiscovered, but they're a bit of a gem.
Yes.
That not many people know about, and then I go to a lot of studios and they're like, yeah, we got this because we got blah blah blah, and then they point to, and they're like, but we end up using it on everything.
Yeah, and that's especially with the new generation of preamps and the expanded EQ section of the RPQ3 and the RPQ 503.
Yeah.
Is the boost and cut for low and high really allows people to use it in a larger variety of settings, because people kept telling us that they were using their RPQ2s, their TRP2s on everything because it just sounds so good and so transparent. So we're like, okay, how do we really enforce that? So we've been saying the preamp for everything. If you can design it for a passive ribbon microphone, it works great on everything.
Right.
So everybody knows. Well, the people that know how good the RPQs and the TRPs sound. The FC2, the new tube preamp, is the same family, but just like rounded edges, just a little bit more tubey, but it's still got like the linearness of the solid state. And Fred says he loves tubes because they're linear, not because of the harmonic distortion. But the way it's designed, it's just like so much more musical. Like it's not like I should say this about our own babies, but the FC2 blows the RPQ3 out of the water. It's
hey, well,
you get what you pay for. Yeah, this is all the MOTU stuff.
It's all the MOTU stuff. You're down here.
We're down here. So
yep.
This is the RPQ3. Then the TRP3 is the half-rack version of it, and we have 500 versions of each of those.
Nice.
And then, of course, stereo 1029 half-rack compressor.
Nice.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, thanks for showing us around.
Thank you so much.
Tell you all about it. Excellent.
When
Mr. Christian, how are you?
How you doing, Warren?
I'm good. I love the fact that you are traveling around the world. This is rather fun, yeah?
It's great to bring Audioscape to as many places as possible.
Well, I mean, lots of companies, they have their representation in other countries, but they don't always come out and do it as well. So you do.
Yes, I do.
So good. So what do you got going on?
Oh, let's see. We have our stereo rack over here.
Okay.
And it seems to grow every year.
Good.
This year we added our stereo EQP2A.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Okay.
So this is actually a stereo. It looks like it's a mono unit, and this confuses some people.
but this is actually a stereo unit, and we make it in standard and mastering as well. So it's obviously, if you get the case, you'll see it's a lot deeper because we had to fit. It's literally 2 of our mono Pultecs and 1 stereo case.
Yeah.
So
cool.
it's a beefy boy. Let's just put it that way. But it's really, people really taken to this. They really enjoy it, as I do. But it's all the same traditional
Great.
EQP values right here in 1 stereo case. So,
It's like super aggressive.
yeah, we have a lot of people that, like, they don't have a lot of rack space, right? So, but they still want a stereo, Pultec sound, basically. So now you can have that in 3U.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's massive. Absolutely massive. And what else you got going on?
I know you've tried the reverb.
Yeah,
you
it's
love
wonderful.
the EQ on this.
Yeah.
I have been looking at actually doing the EQ separate, like you suggested in an earlier video.
Yeah.
Because it is really nice.
Yeah. The EQ on this is really good. Yeah.
And I mean, I think this is still sort of, right now it's actually a special order product for us.
Right.
And we've seen like the interest in this just grow tremendously.
Good.
Because it's really a unique piece. And
Yeah, exactly.
For me, I mean, it's either like an EMT 140 or something like this.
Yeah.
Like it really casts a good wide net. So,
Wonderful.
of course, you know the 260 VU.
We love it.
You
And
know
we
the
also
DA3
love these as well.
you can't
We've done
go wrong with
great
these.
demos with both of these. This one for that total Fleetwood Mac Lindsey Buckingham guitar sound just nailed it. Because I'd done a lot of, did 3 albums with Dave Sardi, and that was the guitar sound on Jet. That's the guitar sound
yeah.
on Thrills. Yeah, so really amazing on guitar. So
Yeah.
if you want the ultimate guitar compressor, there it is.
Yeah, like Bob Clearmountain says, cheap box. This one and this one, these are just total like.
Yeah, I mean when I was a kid, you could buy these for like tuppence, and then they became vintage.
Oh,
and
man.
then suddenly, I don't know what they are now, the vintage ones.
I was talking to Merrick at Better Maker. He sold one for like €8,000 for just like a single channel. It's just.
I bought a pair for $600 in '96.
Oh man, you got a time machine?
Yeah, I know. And I remember going into the studio in LA that was selling gear, and there was like racks of them, and they were like, "How many do you want?"
I know.
Nobody wanted them. And now, of course, everybody realizes like that's pretty much the sound of like 70s electric guitar. Just like pat, pat, pat.
Yeah, the
awesome.
LA3's old news. We want the LA5.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I know. It's like the LA2s too. When these came out, like they were just dumping them in the trash.
Yeah.
It's absolutely absurd.
Absurd. The decomp, very nice. I haven't got one of these yet.
I was just talking to Joey about this. There is nothing like this on, like, say, smashing overheads or smashing a room mic on drums. I mean, it's a great versatile comp, but you're gonna get probably like the most instant gratification on drums.
Yeah.
When you want that sound, and it's really hard to describe it, you probably just need to hear it. When you want that sound on drums, there is nothing else that does that sound.
I think on a drum bus, because you've got the side chain here, the high pass going all the way up to 320 by the looks of it, I mean, that would be very, very useful.
It's a wild beast. So trying to tame this thing, that was the idea with all the sidechain high pass and like the 11 attack values.
Yeah.
Because trying to tame this is a very grabby compressor
But you
in
probably
a
wouldn't
good
want
way.
to. You could have it as a parallel drum bus
Yeah.
and just
actually-
bring it up underneath. It'd be
It's funny you
amazing.
mentioned that because Mark Daniel Nelson was telling me, like, he was hammering me for years about getting a blend control. So we actually do have one on
Everything
there.
has to have a blend control.
Yeah. So, and we, of course, added one from the gate here with the AS78 up top. So,
Well, you know, I'm a huge fan of these. And again, for similar reasons, I had a studio and we had a pair of, very old beaten up ones, and they were just amazing. But if I ever wanted to sell them, I couldn't give them away. Everybody was like, "Oh, 1178.
Yeah.
They don't have that sound." I'm like, "What? You mean really good?"
yeah, it is really good. And what's funny is, like, I think these caught a bad rap for like 10, 20 years because
20
of they were sort of closer to the Rev G, Rev H 1176, which didn't have an input transformer, it was IC input.
Yeah.
And people started realizing, well, no, there's actually a sound with these. And a lot of people don't realize it doesn't do all buttons in, too. The sidechain is a little different on this.
Yeah.
It's got its own unique thing going on, but there's Man, you can use them for guitars, for your mix. Parallel processing is available. I mean, obviously drum overheads is like
drum overheads, and because it's a fair. I mean, you can get really fast attack and release times. Really get in there and just like go, okay. If you want this on your rooms and you want it, you know, absolutely phenomenal. You know, and I love fixed threshold compressors because I'm an idiot. You know, I just want to go more compression, less compression, more. It's like. Make it easy for me, you know. Sorry, more compression, less compression.
Yeah, you know, it's funny, when we're developing these, I often find myself using them like no one would ever use them.
Yeah.
Like just like a complete a-hole, just like, let's see how this thing falls apart. 20-to-1, max everything out, fastest attack, fastest release. What does it sound with everything dimed? Does it distort the same exact way as the original? That's like
and then just blend it back, and then that's where the magic is.
Exactly.
But the thing for me, probably what I would end up doing is I would do all of that, I would absolutely destroy it, blend it back so it sounds really good, and then put something after that just to catch the odd peak here and there. I don't know, I compression on drums done right. Just mixed, we were talking about this earlier, just mixed a band, and I'm the third mixer on the project, and the other two guys are like ridiculously famous. So I can't say who they were. And they're like, your stuff just sounds bigger and wider and with more depth. And I'm like, I like using a lot of compression, like even aggressively, but in increments of like, here's my drums destroyed, here's my drums super clean, here's a combination of the two together, and then I'll just limit the whole thing together, and suddenly you have this like enormous drum sound. This idea that compression, back in the old days, they didn't use. It's crap. It's total. I know all those guys, Shelley and Jack, and they use more compression than we could ever imagine.
Yeah, and on the way in, like
and on the way in.
Yeah, and on the
mix.
Yeah, and on the mix.
Yeah, and with tape, and with transformers on the console and everything. Everything was like round off, round off, more energy. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, and there's a life to those records, like because of that. Subsequently, like so many people are still listening to those and going, "How the hell do I get that sound?" You know, like
there you go.
Yeah, there you go.
Excellent. This is always fun talking to you.
Yeah, likewise.
Yeah. Anything else for me to look at?
Oh, it looks like we have our mono rack over here as well. Yeah. Our what Lars calls Rack James with the feet.
Yeah, we got a pair of Lars's racks already ready to go. We don't have Audioscape written on ours though.
Oh, well, you got to have him do that. He's got to etch it in. But yeah, this is our mono rack. So this has our mono compressors, all like our classic compressors, and of course the mono versions of the EQs. First time we're actually showing the MEQ, the mid-range EQ, which is
love the MEQ.
Yeah, I think it's highly underrated. Like so many people,
perfect for guitars.
I don't think they realize, like they just look at it as like the little brother to this, and it's not. I think that's the wrong way to look at it.
Master bass, you know, boom and fizz. I mean, I'm oversimplifying, but on guitars, I mean, look.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Look at the amount of mid-range you can choose from there, and then you can double up and really go for it.
Yeah.
If you want it to be super aggressive, and you want to like boost some two sets of high mids at the same time.
And I think one of the like we talked about the 1178 catching a bad rep. One of the reasons this probably catches a bad rep is because the high boost is more broad and not sharp. Like you can go with the bandwidth control on the EQP, you can go more sharp. But I think it's really musical, and it was actually designed to go in tandem with this.
Agreed.
You know,
well, it makes sense.
That's what
you got one like this or one like that.
Yeah, but it's really cool because like this has got like a really nice push-pull line amp. This has got a really nice single-ended line amp. So it's a completely different line amp in both of them. And actually, we did this one first because I had built like versions point to point myself. And I just fell in love with the line amp.
I think what's happening, we're talking around it, but realizing it, like this 1170A, LA3As. What we got is these products that kind of got very maligned and ignored for so many decades, let alone years. That now we're realizing these are things that are different. These are things that make me sound different from everybody else.
Yeah.
You know, it goes back to what I was talking about, you know, your old crappy out-tuned piano. You know what's great about it? You're the only person that owns that piano.
Yeah.
And you have that unique sound, so yeah.
That's great. What I love about that, about hardware as well too, because like there is not many manufacturers like to admit this, but a variance from unit to unit.
Yeah.
So you get a hardware piece, that is your hardware piece.
Yeah,
I think that should be celebrated.
I agree. Chris, always a pleasure to see you, my friend. There will, of course, be a link down below, and go check out Audioscape. So, we're with Sam here at SSL, and of course, Harrison.
Of course.
How are you?
I'm well, how are you?
Good. This is day 3, so how's it been?
It's been really busy, actually. It's been a really good show. Obviously, the sun's come out, which is nice as well, which helps. So we're here with our guys and our partners, Audio Pro, who look after us here in Germany. A bunch of other brands as well, but they're showing off a bit of a hybrid, really, today. So.
Great. So what do you got going on? You were going to talk to us about the kind of connectability. Is that
you obviously, you came to us recently. You saw some of the new kit, including the channel strips and everything like that. We gave you a bit of a rundown. But
and we just did a demo of the Revival 4000.
Yeah, I saw the video. It looked very nice, actually. So essentially, what we decided to do for the show here, because people are talking about how they want to get their kind of synths, their electronics inside of their system, but running down analog kit.
Yeah.
They've got people with modular, people with all sorts of stuff, and they're like, well, I love doing stuff in the box with my instruments, but also I've got a lot of outboard stuff and a lot of instruments that are analog, so how do we get that all together? So we thought we'd show off a bit of a hybrid rig, really. So it's all centered around the Big 6, which obviously is an analog desk with a built-in sound card. And then we've also got the SL18 and the Alpha 8, and they're actually aggregated together, so we use them as one big interface.
Nice.
What we're essentially doing, we've got some playback here from very kindly donated by one of the team on the booth, one of their tracks. But we're just summing it down here, and the stereo inputs going into it. You can have a listen if you want.
Yeah, I'd love to.
I've not a clue what its state of it at the moment. I haven't touched it since I last heard. So anyway, it's
good.
But yeah, you've got 4 stereo stems coming down. And essentially those, between them we've got some inserts. So on the drums, we've got the bus compressor in the 500 series over there, and on the instruments we've got the ultraviolet EQ in the 500 series rack. And beyond that, essentially we're running the 9000 over the vocals and the 4000 series channel strip over the bass. And then finally we've got the Big 6 and the Fusion inserted over the master bus as well, so it's obviously a nice bit of master bus processing as well.
Where's the master bus processing coming from?
So it's coming into the Fusion and the Bus Plus, so it goes into the Fusion and then we've got the Bus Plus inserted over that. So you've got your 5 colour circuits, then with the Bus Plus inserted over it here as well.
We've got one of these to try. And did we get a Fusion as well, Jake?
Yeah, there's a Fusion.
Yeah, I think we have the Fusion.
You should definitely have the Fusion as well. If not, we can make that happen. So.
Yeah, no, it's good. We've got them both to try, so I really want to do a video.
Yeah, we've seen such great application all over for those. I mean, the Fusion massively has been popular with front of house engineers as well. So we see a lot of those in front of house rigs, and the Bus Plus has been growing into that as well.
I want to do a shootout because I just mixed a band. I just did the second single and the first single, and they'd had how much can I say on camera? They'd had a couple of really, really famous mixers mix their songs, and they'd been mixing on consoles. And I think one was in a box, one was on a console. And they were just like, it sounds so big and so wide, but I did it completely in the box.
Right, that's interesting.
So what I want to do is I want to break out of that and go into that and just see if I can even edge it even further.
Yeah, I mean, the nice thing about the Fusion is it's kind of 5 colour circuits really, or 5 circuits with it, with one of them being colour and tone. And it's very quick to get a sound and something that's very pleasing out of it. And you can really push into it or use it very subtly. I mean, my go-to straight away is popping in the transformer just to get a bit of that bump, that harmonic distortion.
Right.
And then, and one of my favourite tricks with it is on the Violet EQ is overboosting around 16K and then crossing over with the high frequency compressor at the same point and rolling it back in, kind of get that kind of subtle kind of tape roll-off. So you can see you've got the 16K there, you'd roughly cross it over at the same point, and then you start to just bring it in until you get that kind of roll off. So you overboost and then bring it back in. Really nice way of working. And then obviously when you've got the Bus Plus inserted as well, it's the classic bus compressor glue, but with a whole bunch of stuff on top. So
I mean, look, the bottom line is like, I think a lot of the time, I had a 4000 for about 20 years, mixed through it. It became like just a big template. It was like great, I could just pull things up. Within half an hour, I had close to a record, and then it was all just detail work. But the thing that really changed for me, and I think for anybody who's owning an SSL, is of course this function here.
Oh yeah, with the high bus filter in the sidechain there, yeah, exactly that.
Because that's the only thing that ever, in the olden days, we can talk about in the past tense, that let down all compressors, because they didn't have this ability to let the low end not control all of the compression. And now the fact that you can let that breathe, and just have the compressor only really happening on them, it completely frees everything up.
It really does, and I think the modes that you'll explore, but I won't ruin too much for you.
No, tell me.
It's good for you to explore, but so the sort of top level, the 4K mode in here, so you can actually choose the level of VCA distortion that you're getting off out there by going through and forth. So you can go from really nice and subtle through to pretty crunchy if you really want to. My go-to point is kind of the midpoint, which is kind of a light orange. You can choose between feed forward and feedback mode with the compressor as well, with the topology. And then there's a low THD mode, and you kind of you hear it in the video when you do it, but you kind of almost like you get this low end extension that appears within the compressor as well, but you're not kind of cutting off those low frequencies with the compressor attack and release.
No, it's great. I mean, look, I use my 4000 as a limiter.
Right.
So basically, my meters, I would start the song and it would go like that, and then the song would finish.
Okay.
And there's just something about you can hit the output stage so heavily, and any additional harmonics you got, there was never any disgusting clipping going on. I can't do that. I'm really super nervous when I mix in a box. So when I'm with my master bus, I try not to do anything. I'll do maybe light compression, maybe limiting or whatever, because to me it's like, coming from an analog world, I was so used to like trusting what was going on here. So I do want to move into this. So yeah.
So well, if you've got one of those units, definitely. If you haven't got the Fusion, try one as well because they work really nicely together.
We just haven't unboxed it yet to try.
Yeah, okay, that's cool. And then obviously you've seen recently the 9000, the 4000 series channels.
I haven't done the 9000.
Oh, have you not done the 9000 yet? Okay,
No,
well that again, that's. The nice thing about these channel ships is kind of lifting the technology from our 4000, 9000 series consoles.
Yeah. So is it a J or a K?
It's kind of a best of what we would class of the super analog technology, which kind of started really in the J series console, went into the K series, and then through into Duality, AWS.
I mean, I mixed on J's and K's, and to me, when I took my stuff that I'd done a 4000 and put it through a J, I couldn't push it as hard.
Yeah,
and then the K, I don't know if you were with. It's a long time ago, you probably weren't with the company at the time, but the K just suddenly the headroom came back up again.
So the thing is with the super analog circuitry, as we call it, it's kind of like a design philosophy. It's all about low end extension, precision, ultra wide frequency response, very linear phase response, and that's kind of what you're going to be seeing inside of this. The thing that people ask about, like, well, what about the EQ? It's like, well, yes, it's the same EQ curves, but it's in a different circuit topology.
Right, okay.
So, yeah, you get that kind of classic SSL feel, but it is from kind of the 9000 series onwards, whereas the 4000 series, you get more of that crunch, that kind of push that you expect from the 4000 series console.
I mean, when we demoed that song, I couldn't believe the amount of low end that I was getting that I wasn't used to. Which is not, let's be honest, be blunt, it's not what you associate SSL with. Everybody's all like, oh, it's the best for mids and high end, and it is. And especially that, the channel out button on the old 4K was just, you put that in, you boosted your high end, you took your high mids, you made them crunchy, and then you slammed them into a compressor. And you got that pa, 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 and everything was
snap. Yeah, exactly.
And sounded like a record.
So what we should definitely get one of those as well, though.
Get me one of those. Well, a pair would be great. Yeah.
Well, a pair, that'd be very useful. Yeah,
because then I can do a lot of stuff with it. Awesome. Hey, everybody, look, it's Chris Teray.
Hi, nice to see you.
I'm going to give you another hug on camera.
How are you, my friend? I'm good.
Good. Always good to see you. You're at Rupert Neve Designs.
I am.
And we're standing in front of a Rupert Neve Designs console. So why don't we talk about it?
Well, so this is the 5088. This is the same console we have been making since about 2007, 2008 was when the first serial number shipped out. This was Rupert's last console design, and in his opinion, his final word in a literal and figurative sense in analog console design. It is made in Texas. It is unlike any other desk that's on the market right now. The closest comparison to this desk would be an 80 series board from the mid-1970s. Okay. When this desk was designed, we took a look. It was designed because Rupert wanted to go back to basics. He wanted to go back to, I want to look at all of the things that made my 80 series desks so desirable. I want to look at all the things that made them flawed, and I want to design a new desk with modern manufacturing techniques, with greater flexibility for a more modern studio.
Keep the good stuff, get rid of the bad.
Keep the good stuff, get rid of the bad. So
improve it.
So in essence, this desk is, at its core, a 16 input, 8 group console with a very big sounding mix bus. It runs on a higher rail voltage than the vintage desk, so it's plus minus 45 volts. That's a 90 volt differential. It has custom-made, fully discrete Class A biased op amps all the way through, and custom-wound transformers on every single input and every single output in the whole desk. No matter whether it's a line in or an effects return, it is transformer coupled. It's really bulletproof as far as galvanic isolation goes. The reason we are going through the trouble to do this, of custom designing all our own transformers, which are only used by us and are not used by anybody else, is because Rupert's philosophy with this stuff is you have to, it's not just about pulling a transformer out of an old piece of gear and designing a new circuit with it and saying, oh, that's what makes it sound like a Rupert Neve design. It's not about that. It's about the harmony, the balance between the Class A circuitry and the transformer and the way they complement one another and the way that it creates what, in this case, turns out to be an incredibly high headroom mix bus, vanishingly low noise floor. It's about 10 dB greater dynamic range, so 10 dB lower noise floor than any vintage desk. Totally flat, at full power from sub 5 hertz all the way to way over 100K. And what this translates to is what comes out the other end of this desk is as close as can be to what went into the desk. And the only thing that changes is when it passes through these transformers, there is that je ne sais quoi, that Rupert Neve
Chutzpah?
Sound,
Pizzazz?
which is essentially second and third order harmonics. So musically relevant, second order meaning octave and octave and a fifth. So if you play an octave over a note, it sounds good. You play a fifth over it, it also sounds good. That is the only coloration that's occurring from any of the transformers in any of our gear. And that's kind of the secret sauce to a lot
Well, that was
of this.
Rupert's thing, wasn't it? I remember we talked about this literally years ago, maybe even 10. Rupert designed transformers to go in high watt amps.
He designed transformers for lots of things.
Yeah.
Before he was building any
Before
audio
he was building
equipment
any
at
other
all.
audio stuff.
Exactly, yeah.
He has a lot of history when it comes to transformers. Well, so beautiful console, and I see.
You want to see inside it?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, check this
I
out.
haven't done this yet. Ooh, look at this. Fancy pants.
All right.
Jake, you want to come around here? Swap you out. Jake's going to go around to the...
pull this out. And there we go. So,
there we go.
The inside, I'll tell you, the inside of the group modules is more impressive because there's 6 transformers in there as opposed to these 2. But this is an input transformer, this is an output transformer.
Yeah.
These are all our custom discrete op amps inside.
And these are completely Rupert designed?
Yeah, completely Rupert. Well, Rupert and our team. Yeah. So
but no third party stuff.
Rupert Neve designs designed. Yes.
Should we pull this out
exactly.
then?
That one we can't hot swap, but
you have one you prepared earlier down here?
No, I'm just going to turn the console off. Now I can pull it out.
See what I made you do?
Yeah. So
this is good. I love this stuff.
There we go.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you're right. 6 transformers.
Well, technically 10.
10 because you got 4 of the others and 6 of the...
4 of those and 6 of those, yeah. So this is for the groups, which is why it's got so much. Because it's got a lot more coming in and out of it at any given time. And I mean, feel the weight of that.
Oh, it's substantial.
Now imagine that across X number of modules.
Yeah, I'm not moving this console on my own.
And well, yeah, I mean, these, when we ship it, these are all unloaded in individual boxes. And the frame itself, it's 4 people to carry it. And we hired several, our German distributor here hired a couple of really big Russian guys to move this desk over here for us.
They were in a hurry. But Rush, all right.
Oh my gosh. Anyways,
sorry.
So this desk
I'm a dad,
is,
all right? I got dad jokes, as good as it gets.
It's built to be, as you can see, very easily maintained and serviceable. This was one of the things that we wanted to fix from a lot of the older desks that are out there, and in just how modular it is. I mean, the entire master section, 4 screws, you can pull the whole master out, and we're not going to do that one, but you can get to any part of it really easily, and that's kind of the only thing that's changed since 2008, with this board. There have been a few minor modifications. We've swapped out what kind of switches we're using in a few cases, because we wanted them to be, we picked ones that were even more reliable and even more longevity. These switches are all different from the original ones. It used to be a lot more of these little guys over here, and we've moved over to these soft switches, which are great. And we've redesigned some of the parts of it to make it easier to maintain and easier to service. Because this is supposed to, there's a reason this desk has no digital connectivity. It does not have recall. It does not have a lot of features. It's a very simple desk, because the idea is that anything that is digitally connected or has digital components is going to become obsolete very quickly.
Just have this whole conversation. We spent the morning, half the day over at Neumann.
Yep.
and we were talking about what the future is. And there's sort of a future in the idea of building a lot of DSP into a microphone.
Sure.
There's also none whatsoever.
Absolutely.
Because if you build yourself a microphone and stick a whole crap ton of DSP, and then 5 years later it's total bull. Oh, I just swore. Total crap. Then everybody hates you for it. And there's so much, even fairly recent, obsolete digital equipment.
And it's happening at an exponential rate,
It's
of
getting-
course. And with this, the idea is everything else in your studio is going to evolve. As long as you have XLR connectors, this will still be usable 50 years from now. It's going to require a little maintenance like a car or whatever, but this is built exceptionally well. It's built to have exceptional sound, and all of these modules can be, say you don't need mic pre's anymore, you can pull them out. You can put in EQ compressors. We come out with we just came out with 2 new modules for it last year. We make 4 different modules now that fit up here, because this is just a big empty metal frame, the penthouse up here. We've got these rack ears in so we could have some 19-inch gear in there, but typically it's just, multiple channels of the EQ, mic pre EQs or EQ compressors, or we make a dual mic pre, we make a few different things that go up there. But then the whole thing is expandable, like you just take another bucket of 16 and screw it on the other side and connect some cables, and now you have a 32-channel console. So it can change as your studio changes, but not in the digital way, if that makes sense.
Which, the more we were talking about it earlier this morning and now reiterating here, you've got your computer, you've got your DAW, you've got the ability to flip that stuff around and continually modernize, and the people that are making your DAW, it's their responsibility to basically keep it evolving.
Yeah.
To keep up with.
And God bless them for it, because I would not want that to be my job.
No. And but yes, and the other thing is, you don't need a subscription.
Yeah, no subscription. We are very, very big on one knob per function.
Yeah.
And in terms of in search of creativity and what you want to be spending your brain energy on when you're recording someone, when you're producing yourself, whatever you're doing, the last thing you want to be doing is thinking about menu diving. You just want to reach for something and have it do one thing that it's going to do really well. You want it to work every time you reach for it without toothpicks. And you just want it to sound better and make your life easier. And that is what we try to do with everything we make, is like, is it going to help you get a great sounding result faster, or let you move on to more creative things like choosing a chord, the next chord? Maybe you're working on writing a song, maybe you're trying to get a good vocal take. Like, that's what you should be thinking about. You shouldn't be thinking about menus. So one knob per function is really important to us, and keeping it really simple so that it's easy, Yeah.
I hate the drop-down menu.
No.
It's a drop-down menu, scroll down, go across, drop-down menu, scroll across, drop-down
Well, and
menu.
then you have to look.
Accidentally move the mouse.
You've got eyes. I mean, what my favorite studios that have these are the ones where there's no screen.
Yeah.
And sometimes people do the screen back there and they have it on the,
Sure.
so they can push it down or have it off to the side. Like, okay, I get it. We need to use Pro Tools.
Yeah.
But if you can get it out of the way and you can just sit here and listen, it's I think a much more immersive, engaging, creative experience for most people.
So the question is, how much is it in what formats, etc.? So, I mean, obviously you can do whatever you like up here.
Yes.
But is there a standard format, guide price kind of thing?
I will say the most popular configurations are generally a 16 input desk loaded with 16 mic pre-EQs ish, like call it that. That and a 32. Those are kind of the two big ones.
What do they come out?
It varies considerably based on many options with automation, with which modules are chosen, whatever. But in probably, you want in American dollars?
American dollars,
We're in Germany right now, but okay. Probably around 100,000-ish.
Okay.
And a 32, probably 160, 170, something like that.
So it pays to get more channels.
It does pay to get more channel. Then it's repetition. But it depends. I mean, we also do, like, a really common thing that people do these days is like these all here. These are mono input modules. These two are stereo input modules. So for returns from Pro Tools, you've got like a stereo piano or a stereo whatever, like for stem mixing, it becomes a lot easier, and it also vastly increases your channel count in the same frame size. So and you've still got pans, you've got individual pans, a width circuit, all the busing, individual trims.
Amazing.
Yeah, but I mean, we've this year we shipped or are about to ship. We either just did or are about to ship serial number 400 of the 5088. So there are.
What year did you start?
2008, I think, was the first one that went out.
That's not pretty bad.
No, it's not bad, and I think we ship about 40 of these a year nowadays.
That's great.
Just about.
Yeah.
And it's a big, expensive console, and my favorite part of my job is going to visit these when I have the opportunity to around the world, and I don't always get to see everyone.
400 is really good.
Yeah, and someday I'll see them all.
Yeah.
No.
It's going to be the bet.
Visiting these around the world and seeing all the very different types of music that's being made with them and the different types of people that own them, it's always fun because there's always a good story. Like for one of these, you have to be a pretty specific kind of person to get this desk. There's a lot of other desks out there that have more features and more automation and more whatever that are very sexy selling points, but people who buy this desk are, at the end of the day, they are ultimately consumed with what is going to give me the best possible sound. And keep it simple so I can think about other stuff. And that's the common thread that I love, because every single one of these, I've seen dozens of them around the world at this point, and everybody's got that. There's always this passion, like this really deep level of care for how something sounds. And I love seeing that, and across all these genres, from like EDM to classical to like rock to whatever.
Well, once you've catalogued, make sure you film each of these 400. We'll host the videos, so on your dime.
I'll make a playlist.
On your dime, you fly around, film them for us, give it to us, and we'll host them. Okay?
Exactly. Well, we've done a couple dozen of these, probably 30 videos or something. Okay. 30 or 40, maybe. I don't know.
Well, Chris,
that's the desk.
Thank you very much. And of
you
course,
want to see the new thing that we have, though. We have it was new in January at NAMM, but you never saw it then, I don't think.
But of course, if it's a little bit out of your price range, they do this for 98,000 shekels, about $3.50.
First, second, and third edition.
Oh, okay. I just can put them in my bag.
That's the third edition. They're not for sale, in case anyone's wondering. They were for sale, but they all sold out.
Chris, come on.
We do them most years.
Put some aside for me. Come on.
We can't do that. We have to be fair to everyone. Everyone gets their own shot.
No favoritism. See how it works, kids?
No, it's true. We seriously.
All right, so what have you got that's new and nutritious that I didn't know about?
I got to show you the new thing. It's up here at the top.
Okay.
So there's two of them. It's called the Opto FET.
Okay.
We've never.
Let me guess. Is it an Opto compressor and a FET compressor built in one?
Ding!
Wow!
Okay.
Who would have guessed?
So, tell me, Warren, why would you use an Opto and a FET at the same time?
Well, I'm definitely a fetish kind of guy. That doesn't sound right. No, I like that didn't come out right. I mean, obviously, 1176, I love fixed threshold. I don't know, is this fixed threshold or not?
No,
adjustable threshold.
Attack, release, threshold, makeup, and blend on both of them.
Okay, cool. I mean, Opto I don't use as much. I've never really been that much of an LA2 guy, but the Manley stuff, of course, is a different beast altogether. The LA2A, I will go on record, has never been a favorite compressor of mine, except I did a few albums with Dave Jordan, and I engineered for Dave Jordan, and he would literally just plug a bass guitar into the back of an LA2A, crank the gain, and that was his DI. And it sounded awesome.
That sounds great.
So they're good for that.
Okay. Well, I asked the question because
I know you wish you hadn't.
No, that's fair. That's fair. What, you rambling? Never. So,
who? What? Jake's laughing.
A lot of people,
got a pay cut.
A lot of engineers who are not Warren Hewart, when they're tracking vocals, or bass, or drum crush,
we use both together.
They'll go a FET into an Opto and out, because the FET gives you.
Can you swap
clamps
them?
down.
Okay.
Yes.
So I, in this situation, would go soft on the Opto, higher, use that to compress and that to limit.
So you would go higher ratio. And you would go lower ratio.
I would have that tapping. Just compressing, and I would have that limit.
And then you would limit on this side. Okay, so
the classic thing from Dave Jordan, Jack Douglas, Eric Valentine does it. Daryl, all the guys are always compressed and limit, and they use the 1176 to limit.
So that is the other way to do it. I was going to say vocals, you catch the transients first with this, and then you ride the actual levels with this, but you can also flip it.
Good.
So you see here FET is now B, Opto is A, instead of Opto into FET. Now the other thing that this does that's really interesting is that we've got a crossover. Now you see the FET is on the high frequencies above this crossover, and the opto is on the low frequencies.
Nice.
Or vice versa, FET on lows, opto on highs. What's fun about this is, say for example, you're recording a upright bass.
Yep.
Now you have an opto on the lows to kind of keep the lows in check a little bit here and there. Nice and smooth and fluid, and you have the FET much more aggressively on the uppers, and you get the string noise and you get the picking noise, and then you can blend it in a little bit instead of going full hog on it. And the intention of this is to let people be very creative and flexible with two types of compression
No, it's fantastic.
in a 1U, especially for live sound. Guys who have out, I won't say what they are, but you have 4U worth of gear,
Sure.
and now you have one. So a fly rig is now a Shelford channel and an opto FET, and it's it's very, very simple, very, very easy.
No, I do love the idea of it going, for me, compressed and limit.
Which makes perfect sense. I totally get it.
Yeah.
Then there's also these two modes, grit and bloom, and what those are is with most...
Well, inherent 1176 is always the mid, high mid crunch, and and then of course the explosiveness of it.
This is not specifically supposed to be an all buttons in mode, but it kind of does a similar thing.
But the grit of an 1176, regardless, even if it's not all buttons in.
What it's doing, what each of these are doing, is they're removing a certain amount of sidechain smoothing that we normally do on a compression circuit, which smooths it out and makes it not sound bad. Right. But in this case, we're kind of letting it loose a little bit so that the natural characteristics of these compression circuits come out more. So the FET gets much more aggressive, attack time approaches almost infinitely fast, and so it becomes more of a wave shaper. And you can get it very, very distorted. It's the most distortion we've ever let into any of our products, but only because...
How fast can you get this?
When it's in grit mode, it's practically infinitely fast. It becomes...
I'd like to try some vocals. I'd come out pre, into the octo, this at 2 to 1, go into this at 8 to 1. I'd want this to clamp and just stop any peak. So this to me would be tap, 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 and this one would be tap. Tap.
So that's what this does. And bloom on this side, the opto, its natural inclination is to be more warm and big and rounded, and so that kind of brings out that effect. So it's not like our other, it's not like silk. It's a different thing entirely, but it's fun. It's different flavors, and it's really fun on drum crushes and all the usual suspects for effect.
No, this is great.
So anyways,
I love it.
That's our new thing. Yeah.
That's right up my alley, as we say here in Germany. Right up my Strasse. How are you? Have you been good?
Oh, really? Good to see you.
Good to see you. Last time I saw you was Hamburg.
Studio Zane, yeah.
Are you going to go to AES Nashville?
I don't know yet. My American guy, Frank Odeltorp, will be there. I may be there, but I'm going to AES in Copenhagen first.
Oh, you're going to Copenhagen in a couple of weeks?
So, yeah.
That'll be fun.
I'll hang out there, If you want to talk about something interesting, we made a revision.
Okay, what have you done to it?
We have made... For many years, for more than 10 years, we made the G23, which are linear tilt EQ, a completely straight line tilt. Quite addictive to the mastering guys. We made an addition to it. It's like a maximum 1 dB per octave, plus or minus. And then a correction EQ on top of that in case it gets too much. But now we made a dynamic version of it, where you have the mid-range on it, you can control. So if you want to boost from mid-range, you can also cut back. So it's like dynamic EQ, but only on the mid-range knob.
Oh, I love the detenting here.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So it's like a dynamic EQ only for the mid-range bands, because a lot of our mastering customers, they ask for that. And then there's a dynamic tilt. The tilting, we can do that dynamically to some degree, like compressing the low frequencies while expanding the high frequencies, or vice versa.
Can I hear it?
Yes, it's we have some stuff going on.
It's great.
This is the standard tilt. This is what it does natively. It's exactly like this. On top of that, you do it dynamically. So this is dynamic part. And the release for that.
Okay. Oh yeah. It's very like, I don't know what the right word is. We were joking earlier about, in the 80s and 90s, you'd see those articles we're reviewing, they'd be like transparent, musical, and coloured.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You'd be like, how can it be transparent and musical and coloured?
Yeah.
But it has that. When I come down here, it doesn't. How do I want to describe it? Because you can't hear it. It doesn't feel like somebody just took the low end and went like this, or the high end and went like that.
Everything is still there.
Yeah, everything's still there, but it's kind of got a bloom to it, which is funny because we just heard that word over at Neve.
Yeah.
But it does. It sort of blooms. It's
like you can make stuff slightly darker or slightly brighter without adding or removing like the feeling of the content you have in there.
Yeah. How are you doing that? How are you giving it this kind of bloom on the low end? Because it is really tasty.
It's simply because it's a completely straight line.
Yeah.
The tilt EQs that are out there is usually only like a bell, a boost, or a high and low.
So it's just like a shelf.
Yeah.
Normally it was a shelf. Oh.
But this one is a straight line, a seesaw.
Where's your middle point? 1K?
That's the beauty about it.
You don't tell me.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
When you have a straight line.
From 20 to 20?
And you have a different straight line, the only difference in the transfer function is a gain.
Yeah.
So it's a universal function.
I see.
Which means that we save it has the same tonality no matter where you put it. All the other tilt EQs are out there, they're very dependent on where you set the recession frequency, because they'll be qualitatively different. What they do, the transfer function, is very different depending on where we set it. But
I love this idea. I almost feel like, quite frankly, if I was designing gear, every EQ should have this kind of function.
Yes.
Because if you sit there and think about this, you get in there and you start shaping, cut some low mids, boost a bit of 60 hertz for the kick,
9
10 or
times
12.
out of 10, you want to have it a bit darker or a bit brighter.
Yeah.
And that's actually what you are aiming for, but it can be very complicated to get there.
But even if you do your 60 boost, your 350 cut, your 10, 12K boost, you then go, I want a bit more of that. Oh no, that's better. Yeah, it's not a bad idea.
It's actually, I'm really baffled about why no one else is doing this.
Yeah, well, maybe they will now.
But obviously they will. But it's because it's really usable, basically.
Amazing.
So, and the fun in the new one, because this is all the old one. The only fun in the new one is like we have the dynamic control of the mid-range here.
Yeah.
Because of some aesthetic choices mastering people like nowadays.
Yeah.
So you're meant to like give it a bit extra mid-range here and then cut back with that one.
Okay.
And it's not much. It's like a couple of dBs.
Oh, it's a nice idea.
It's just a bit, but it's enough to like tighten the mix up or make it more dense in the middle.
Great.
And then when all the guitars come in and the chorus, then it'll back off again.
Yeah.
And it's actually because a lot of master engineers were telling me that they had a tendency to sit in gain riding this one.
Yeah.
The recent years, there's some aesthetics going on in mastering generally across genres that you want this controlled compact mid somehow. So they're telling me they're gain riding this, and you don't want your mastering engineers to be gain riding, do you?
Sure. So, you don't. if you did your mix the way you wanted it to be, automating all your sections of your song, but sometimes they have to. I've watched mastering engineers go chorus first.
Yes.
You have to do what you have to do. This is superb. So when did this come out?
This is the final and working prototype, and my mastering engineer signed off on Friday. Okay. So it's brand new and chaotic inside.
Nice. So it's the Gyraf G23C.
Yeah, no, that's the working title.
Okay, so what's it going to be called?
It's G26. It's
G26.
It's the new one. Yeah, 26 is where we are now.
Okay.
So that's it, and it'll come out in like 2-3 months.
Okay.
Something like that. So, but we know exactly how it should be, and people have really liked it here on the show.
It's amazing. Yeah. Well, congrats. Thank you very much for showing it to us.
Thank you. Thank you for stopping by. It's a pleasure.
Excellent. So Lars, how are you, my friend? So I love my SessionDesk.
That's good. I love mine too.
Yeah, it's great. In fact, this is the model, isn't it?
Yeah, this is the Octave.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Really, really good. I do like this finish as well, though.
Yeah, I think you got it in black, right?
Got it in black. Now I'm looking at this going, No, I love what I got. So you're having a good show?
Yeah, definitely.
Excellent. I love it here.
Yeah, it's just like, this is outstanding.
Yeah. And it's busy.
It's busy. We have the pole position, and we brought a new product.
What did you bring?
Blocks. So it's like a very versatile acoustic studio solution, I would call it.
Yeah.
You have like classic absorption panels.
Yep.
But you can use them for many use cases. You can build like vocal booths out of it. You can build like gobos out of it. They're highly efficient. They go deep down loud to 100 Hertz, and the sub goes down to 28. We have the plexi here. The plexi because you can watch through. And you can set everything up without using any tool. It's all with the so-called X connector.
Yeah.
Sitting in here.
Great. Yeah, I mean, once we figured out, it was fairly quick to build.
Yeah.
You know, we figured out a couple of stupid things we were doing.
Yes.
I think we built one side wrong and then had to take it out and put it back again.
Okay.
But you know,
this
I'm an
is how
idiot.
life goes.
No, it's really easy to put together. Now this looks great. Okay, so this would be great for vocal booths.
Yeah. I mean, this for instance is a setup. Imagine you have this 1, 2, 3 times, killing like the first reflections, left side, right side.
Yeah.
Then behind you, then we have a ceiling option where we have a frame.
Okay.
You mount at the ceiling for metal ropes fall down, and you just hang them in.
Perfect.
Very easy, adjustable in the height and the angle.
Great.
Yeah, I mean, more is on our website, of course, where you see all the details of the system. It's a modular acoustic system. Yeah.
That's fantastic. What do you got going on here? You got some Gyraf stuff in there.
Of course. We couldn't do any different. I mean, we like Jacob, we like Gyraf.
We're gonna go and talk to him later, probably tomorrow, because it's getting late today.
Yes. And he will be here tomorrow, and I will be not.
Okay, so this worked out perfectly.
Yeah, perfectly.
Okay,
You made it just last-minute action hero.
Last minute. He's the last-minute action hero.
Yeah, I'm the last-minute action hero, and you're last minute. Okay?
No, this is great. Well, congratulations. It's going well. So these are officially out now.
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic.
They're allowed.
All right, what are these kind of retailing at? Give me an idea.
Price-wise?
Yep.
So the core is 350.
Yep.
The Plexi, I think it's 400. The
Okay.
sub also. We were talking about euros, and we are talking about, with our distribution company, we carry now Monheim microphones. I don't know if you've heard of them.
Show me.
Yeah. I mean, it's a really cool small thing coming from California. You know that guy?
I do, yeah.
And from Monheim, he just sent the shit over.
We are going to do some stuff with him, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we're really excited to have it, you know.
Great.
I think he uses those for Taylor Swift piano recordings and shit. So
okay.
yeah, it's omnidirectional.
Amazing.
Very linear. This goes in the 47 direction, even if it looks a bit different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This looks cool.
Yes.
I love the look
and
of
he
that.
also has a very nice like decoupling system, you know, like it's a complete decoupling thing. And this can you just like clack, clack, clack.
Nice.
I think this is also a nice, nice idea. Yeah, he brought up.
Yep, great.
It's called the Fresh. It's I think also available like in 7 crazy colors.
There will of course be a link down below where you can go and check out all of our good friend Lars' SessionDesk. So we're here with Eric at Nordic. So
Nordic Audio Labs.
Nordic Audio Labs. How are you?
Good.
And Finnish company.
Yes.
So Eric with a K, not with a C. This is your mic. It's the NU24K. What can you tell me about it?
Large diaphragm. It features something we call the flow-fed technology. It has a tube-like sound without the tube itself.
So what's giving it the tube-like sound without the tube?
Well, it's all in the circuitry and how the different components play together. Right. It's phantom powered, really sturdy, and it solves the problem of, it gives like the sound of all these magic vintage mics without the fragility and this one in particular is at an affordable price.
How much is affordable?
Well, 1,450 euros plus VAT, so
1,450.
Yeah.
50. Okay.
So 1,500, yeah.
1,500. Cool. Let me hear it because we actually have headphones and 1, 2, 2, 2. We're in Germany, so in Deutschland 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 18, 19, 20. Wie geht's? 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 1, 1. Sounds great. It's very, it's got some really good mid-range forwardness about it, I like. 1, 2, there's an immediacy.
You can play a bit with distance also if you like.
Yeah, yeah. Where's the overall volume? So I come back here. Is there a...
So you have here...
Yeah, just so I can see what it's like. 1, 2. Oh, that's nice there. Mary had a little lamb. Her fleece was white as snow. Chicken tikka masala. 1, 2, 2, 2, 2. 1, 2. Switchable polar patterns or fixed cardioid? What's that?
Fixed cardioid.
Fixed cardioid.
Yeah.
1,
we do have
2,
another
2,
model
2,
called,
2. 1,
called
2,
NU 100K,
2, 1,
which is a multi-pattern. Yeah.
1. Yeah, it's great. We'd love to demo it.
Yeah, great.
Great.
We can get you one.
Give us your website address, and it will be down here, below here, so you can go and check out the mic. So we're with Lorenzo at Telefunken. How are you?
I'm very good. How are you, Warren?
I'm excellent. What have you got that's new you want to talk to us about?
Well, the fact is that Telefunken is not really for new things because, as always, we are trying to have the old stuff ready to go. I mean,
this doesn't look very vintage, though, to me.
Well, actually, that's the M80, one of the most interesting microphones we have in our dynamic series.
Yep.
And we are showing here, most of, all the colored items that we have in the M80 series.
My daughter's not a singer, but she does love pink, so...
Right. So, yes, it's always the same microphone, M80, yep. M81, but with different colors and finishes like wood, metal, all colors and everything else. So
this is crazy good. I love this. I like this finish with the wood because it actually gives you grip.
Right, and there is oak and cherry, so two different kind of wood essences.
Very nice indeed. I think when you guys first brought this out, I was working with my good friend Jack Douglas, and we used this on a snare.
Oh, really?
It's really good.
Yeah. And in fact, in our drum pack, we are delivering this microphone in a shorter version in order to have it, yes, for snare.
Yeah, it's got an interesting crack. It's got like a 5, 6, 7K snap.
Right.
And I mean, everybody loves the 57 and they know how it's going to sound. But this had just a little bit more bite, so it's a little less work on the mix.
Right.
Yeah. And Jack, the thing about Jack, he made all those like Aerosmith records, and he never rests on his laurels. He wants to try something new and different. So this is a really good snare mic.
We are offering an alternative to this market that is used to other microphones.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's now 15 years we're making this microphone.
So do you have? Yeah, we use Aerosmith record was 2011, so it was like right when you first started making it. Do you have a drum pack?
We have drum packs, not here, but all our drum packs are made by 4, 5, 6 parts. Like starting from the M82, that is the kick drum. We have the 81 for the toms and the M80 for the snare.
Cool, so what else do you want to talk to us about?
Well, the fact is that we just introduced, our top of the line, like the M221, that is an opportunity for all the German people at the SuperBooth to try this iconic microphone here.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Chicken tikka tikka. 1, 2, 2, 2. I like these have a bit of a mid-range bite, but I like it a lot. 1, 2, 2, 2, 2. What are these retailing at?
It's close to $15,000.
So, a new car, or 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 1. 1, 1, 1, 1. Lovely.
But again, it's an opportunity to try one of the most iconic microphones we have.
Yeah, absolutely.
But also we are showing to everybody the rest of the line.
Yeah.
The condenser microphone for the recording studios.
So this is a 51, same capsule?
Same capsule, different transformer. It's like
1, 2, 2,
the younger version of it. So
1, 2, 2, 2, 1, 1, 1. Excuse me. 1, 2, 2, 2, 1. Yeah, the pattern.
So that's the Austrian sound.
Yeah, this has got a very much tighter pattern though, hasn't it?
Right.
Much tighter. I noticed when I came up on it, there's 1, 2, 2, 2. With that, 1, 2, 2. So you got cardioid, omnidirectional, figure 8.
Yes, you can change the polarity on the power supply.
On the power supply, yeah. Nice.
And this is the U47 cheaper version.
The TF47. I'll let Jake come around. So the TF47. Yeah, this has definitely got that 47. What I like about 47s is, the closeness on it. Lovely. What's next? So tell us about this TF39.
TF39 is the modern interpretation of Telefunken of a modern tone. So it's more or less in the same price range of the other two.
How much are these?
1600, 1700.
Oh, 1700. Okay. Now we're talking. That's reasonable. 122, 111. I mean, that's got the lows, but this does too. This is quite full in some of those low mids. 1, 2, 2, 2. For my voice, this is actually quite perfect. I tend to find my voice sounds better on the not as expensive mic.
Right.
Which is good, I suppose. 1, 2, 2, 1, 1, 1. I like this.
And this is our idea of tone, while this one is the version we are having right now, FET, without the tube, so it's a condenser microphone coming from the same. It's a capsule that is trying to replicate the TF47, so the German family. U47, TF147, TF17.
And being FET, it's going to have a higher dynamic range.
Right.
You're going to be able to hit it a lot harder. Yeah, 142 dB SPL, 1, 2, 2, yeah. And a little bit more mid-range. 1, 2, 2, yeah. Really quite pronounced on the mids in a good way. And it's got Carnhill transformer in it. 1, 2, 2. Quickly move to this. Just want to do a comparison shot. 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 2. This has got a nice low warm though. I love it. They're both really good. And then this one. 1, 2, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. I mean, this has got a great closeness. Wonderful. So these are all you say about 1700.
Right.
Including this?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yeah, more or less TF51 and TF47 has the same cost.
Awesome. Thank you, Lorenzo.
It's a pleasure seeing you again.
Yeah, always great seeing you.
Yeah, take care.
Thank you. There will, of course, be a link down below where you can check them all out. With Mikael from MOTU. How are you?
Hello, fine, thank you.
So what do you got going on?
We have here our MOTU rack. We have some nice interfaces.
Okay, yeah, we love them.
Maybe you know the M series. Just small interfaces for people who want to work mobile, just with USB-C power. Very nice. And the nicest thing here is our 3 AVB interfaces.
Yep.
So they all has AVB connectors, and we have 3 different models. This is 16A. 16 line in, 16 line out. Yep. No preamps. This is the 10 pre.
Okay.
8 preamps on the back side, 2 on the front side, and we have the 848, the combination of both.
Thank you for doing this, by the way. I know it sounds ridiculously obvious, but thank you for going front, back, front, back, front, back. No. You know how many things I've tried to review where I'm going like this, and coming back. It's ridiculous. This is really useful. Thank you.
Yeah.
No, that's fantastic. So you're saying which one doesn't have pre's?
10 pre's is a 10 pre.
That one has 10 pre's.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
And the good thing is here we have a AVB switch.
Yeah.
Because we have also AVB interfaces here inside. For the microphones and for the phones.
Oh, nice.
And also here. So the whole booth is connected with AVB.
Okay, good.
In one network.
Ooh, I'm just gonna.
And you can check it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it's brilliant.
How's the latency? No latency.
Yeah,
so that's good.
Yeah.
And the good thing is we have a beautiful software. This is the QMX Pro console.
Yeah.
And there is a patch bay with all my inputs and all my outputs, and I can mix and match every input to every output.
Amazing.
It's a very flexible system.
You know, MOTU, Mark of the Unicorn. What a great name.
Right.
Great name. You need some more screen time. You know, I need to see you more often in more places. Yeah. Everybody loves what you guys make.
Yeah. That's good. Good to hear.
Yeah, good. And I love how compact this is. You know, it's Now, but it's Boston, isn't it?
It's in Boston, Cambridge.
Yeah, but it's MIT guys, isn't it?
Right,
Yeah.
This MIT guys, right.
Yeah, so what's interesting about it, and maybe Europeans will understand this, it's very German, even though it's not. It's probably because it's MIT guys. What I like about like companies like RME and Steinberg and stuff like that, like this, like you guys, they have lots and lots of different ways to connect.
Right.
And I think this is really, really important for us. So what you've got here is, like, for instance, here I've got light pipes in and out. I've got my MIDI going on. I've got RCAs.
Right.
I've got, and my point is XLRs with. This is what I need when I show up somewhere.
Right.
We often do like video recordings and stuff like that, and recording studios, and people doing demos and stuff like that.
Right.
And in this price range, quite often I've only got one or two kind of options to plug in, and that flexibility is really important to us.
Yeah.
So great.
And the good thing, inside the converters are all the same, so it sounds the same.
Yeah, that's good.
That's good.
Yeah. That's one thing I've loved about where we're moving now is, like, it used to be like differentiator. You bought a cheap unit, sounded terrible, you had to spend a lot of money. Now the converters across the range are so good at every price point.
Right.
We live in a good time when it comes to converters. Great. Right. So price-wise, is this the most basic model here?
Yeah, it's about $250.
Great.
This is 350, it's about 500, 800, 1,700.
Okay. Amazing.
Yeah.
I love how these feel incredibly well.
Yeah.
Only I could translate. A lot of the cheaper, you know which brand I'm talking about, which is very popular, that control knob sort of, doesn't have a feel here.
And no other interface has such a beautiful display in this price range.
I was about to say, this place is gorgeous. All right, great.
Yeah.
Mika Howe, thanks very much. Ruben, how are you?
Oh, I'm busy, exhausted.
I have no idea what you mean. Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
What have you got that's new and nutritious? Anything you want to talk to us about?
I mean, what is obvious that the Genix is nearly ready, I have to say, and hopefully in June we are ready to ship the Genix. Okay. And we are super proud because now all the audio stuff is working and it sounds phenomenally, and we are really happy. That this will come out now in a few weeks. Yeah.
Super excited.
Yeah.
Really excited.
We put so much in there, and we get so much good response to this. And yesterday we did a demo to the famous German producer. He's working for the prototype for 2 months now. And he said it's a really amazing box, and all the functions, the features, the recall, the plugin. Great. Yeah, that's really good.
Excellent. So you're hopefully putting it out in June?
Yeah, in June, yeah.
This is May. June is next month.
Yeah.
So just give me a quick run through, like the elevator pitch of the channel.
Oh, yeah. So it's a Class A recordable channel strip.
Yep.
It features a Class A preamp, 4-band dynamic EQ, compressor limiter section, flavor with saturation and other stuff, full-featured monitoring with headphone amps, preset, and as well a plug-in control for the whole unit. And then also as well a routing system where you can change the order of all those modules.
Nice. The only thing it doesn't do is make you dinner.
Yeah, unfortunately.
No, it's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Andreas at Masterlab Audio, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you, Warren?
I am good. So you've got a DynaQ version 2.5.
Yeah.
I didn't even know about version 1.5.
Well, why not? Okay.
I don't know.
It's a great product. It's
cool.
a great plugin. So what we do is actually we split the signal coming in.
Good.
Into 2 parts.
Good.
Into a higher volume and a low volume part.
Okay.
And then you have 2 separate lines of processing.
Okay.
So you have an IQ on what we call the above part and a below part. Yeah. It's split by a threshold, by a dynamic section. Yeah, you can see now it's only on the upper part. The interesting part is that the EQs are not moving. They are not dynamic. They are minimum phase.
Sure.
So the phase is always stable.
That's interesting. So you're splitting the dynamics, not the EQ itself.
Exactly.
Okay, so you.
I give you an example.
It's like an upward compressor and a downward compressor. You have at once.
You have a bass.
Yeah.
And you want to saturate that.
Yeah.
But in a normal way, using saturation means higher level, more saturation.
Of course, yeah.
So if you put the saturation on the below part, and no saturation on the above part, you get no saturation the higher the signal is. Sure. Which means you get a very fat bass, but when somebody is slapping or something like that, there's no saturation to the slap, if you want. Sure. Or, because there's different ways, like we have a really harsh fat saturation, which is really more a creative part, like a real distortion. We have some tape and some tube saturation. What I do a lot is I use it on vocals. This is fantastic on vocals. Let me see, category. You have low vocals. You give them a bit of body, a bit of presence. But when it gets louder, you dip the upper mid-range edge out of it. So then with the saturation, you might go tube on the lower part, getting all these upper frequencies from the tube saturation, the harmonics, and maybe put tape on the upper part. Right. So what's with tape happening? There is some little bit of compression, a little of softening. So you have you have to imagine it's not like a switch going cluck cluck. Sure. You can do with the dynamics very hard, almost switching, but most of the time the signal is like riding between those two sections. And so you have the presence as soon as the level drops a little, and you have a tape, not clipping off, but rounding off the signal in the top. I use it all day for mastering, on stems or on the sum. But also for mixing. And for creative parts, we have 10 outputs on the plugin. Okay. If your DAW is capable of using these, you can just use the above part and send it to a reverb. Okay. Or the below part to a chorus or delay, whatever. Sure. So there's a...
I've got to hear it. I mean, I can imagine it. No, I need to hear it.
It is.
You have to send me one to try out.
Sure. Yeah. And now we also made it compatible with Armada. Heard of it? Fiedler audio, so you can use it in immersive context as well now.
Great. Superb. Well, thanks for showing us.
Hey, thank you, Warren.
Send me a copy so I can try it out.
Absolutely, will do.
So we're outside at SuperBooth, and there's a big, huge stage here, which Jake came to last night, and apparently there was like a festival in the forest. I mean, we leave at 7 p.m. or 7:30 every night. It goes from 10 till 7, which is good. Most of these shows close at like 5, so it's great there's extra time. But we haven't yet been outside, so I have no idea chronologically what order this is going in. But this is the second half, or the last third, I should say, of the third day. Third of the third. Larix Elektro.
Exactly, yes.
What's your name?
Raphael. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. So what do you got going on here? Tell us about it.
So as we can see, I built Gyraf module.
Sorry.
And what do you hear? It's the origami module.
Yeah.
I call it origami because the idea is to have a triangle waveform and folding this triangle. So origami. While folding origami.
Nice. It's crazy here. You got like all these competing, everybody's.
Yes, it's quite noisy. You can see, yeah.
Oh wow. This is awesome.
So you have 2 oscillators.
It's like a horror movie.
Yeah.
It's like a horror.
It can be very aggressive or very gentle.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's aggressive.
Oh, the low end's huge.
Yes, exactly. There is no limit in the low end.
Wow. Actually, it's space.
Yeah.
It's like a huge spaceship.
Inside, I have an LFO, and you can control the phase with an LFO with 4 outputs.
Yeah.
And you can control the phase of the LFO between each of them. Just with one knob, you can control the distribution, in fact.
Amazing.
That's why you can have this kind of wave.
Really cool. Yeah, really, really cool.
Thank you a lot.
Thank you. Thanks for showing us.
Very happy to see you.
Getting rid of my competition.
I'm seeing snakes. No, I'm seeing oil. No, I'm seeing snake oil. Hey,
marvelous.
What's fun here? We literally just got here. We've been through here. We've been in there. Yeah. We've been on the swing.
Have you been to the field in the back or the bungalow dwarf?
Show me.
Oh, I'm going to show you.
Walk this way. And a unicorn?
Yeah.
I mean, you know.
Yeah. I mean, that's SuperBooth vibes.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. And then if you walk there past the beach, there's like a long thing.
Yeah.
Then you exit the grounds.
Yeah.
You get into the forest. And this is not, I'm not even joking with you. You get into the forest, you go to the right and then to the left, there's a little table there with people.
Yeah.
And then you go to the left and you get to the bungalow dwarf.
Yeah.
And there's like these little wooden huts with all kinds of companies in there as well.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, so it goes on there. Like in the middle of the forest, there's like a separate area with like a lot of stuff as well. So you should really check that out.
Wow.
Yeah.
Fun times.
Yeah.
There are so many boutiques, synth manufacturers, just electronic gizmo manufacturers here. It's awesome. Well, this is fun. We're here, and what are you going to show us?
Yeah, so a couple different things. I'm here with Wave Distribution, Empirical Labs, Quagliardi, Serpent, Useful, I'll name drop everybody.
Good, do it.
But it's a big year for us, for all of our music gear folks out there. Empirical Labs, 1996, released the Distressor, the EL8. 30 years later, we have sold way too many of them. We decided
Wait there, sold too many. It's going to give a lot away now. Is that what you're trying to say? Said too many of them.
In a good way. As many as we possibly can. However, for 30 years to celebrate a long time doing some really fun stuff in the industry, we dropped the XXX. Be careful with that one, Googling it, but it's 30th anniversary.
Wow.
Ultimately, some throwbacks. If you're familiar with the original units, it's got the branding from the very first production run. So an old style font, we've got a Dave Durr signature there. Thank you, Dave. And to make things nice and fun, we wanted to spice it up a little bit, but keep that Distressor sound. So now we've got a Triad HS56 input transformer to get some magic on the low end.
Nice.
So, still keeps that classic Distressor sound, but as you start driving and hitting it pretty hard, you hear some saturation, some blooming in the low end, specifically under that sub frequency. You'll hear some kind of magic glitter come through. So I like to run 808s through it. I like to use it on some bass heavy stuff, even on an overhead mic when you've got some kick playing. It does some pretty magical stuff. But aside from that, it's a Distressor. They are limited, so they're only going to be available through the end of this year.
How many of
We're gonna make, dare I say, about 500 is our goal. We're pretty close to sold out of them already. So if you don't have one and you love, traditional gear,
well, I really feel like we need to get one. Don't we? We definitely need to get one.
Yeah, if you don't have one, and again, I would say spend some time playing with it.
Get him on camera to say he's going to give us one.
You're welcome to try one. Right now I've got our 808 going through it, and you can see it's getting hit pretty hard. But you will start to hear that saturation, especially with distortion up a little bit, and get really rowdy with it. People have played quite a bit. There you go. And with that input transformer, it really responds to being driven hard. Don't be afraid of red lights. We love them. You'll start to hear it kind of open up and stretch a bit. But at its core, it's still a distressor, so it's going to sound and perform just like your EL8 or EL8X, but with a little bit more color and texture. We've had a lot of people ask for input transformers, and we say, the distressor sounds the way it has for 30 years. We'd like to keep it that way, but if you like the option and you like a kind of classic piece to keep, maybe put on a shelf, it's really cool, just as well as in the studio.
Nice, excellent. What you got going on here? What's our power grid duo?
Yeah, so that's actually a pretty interesting idea. We run into 500 series gear a lot, and it's pretty difficult to truly integrate into your studio. It typically sits in a vertical rack. That takes up a lot of space, and dealing with enough engineers, we know that one of these is about as expensive as rent in terms of space that it takes in your chassis. So preserving space is important. 500 series is inherently tall. So around the time that we started developing the pumps, we thought about how we might integrate them into smaller footprints.
Okay, good.
So Wave Distro and actually Quagliardi Audio, which is another vendor we'll talk about, collaborated to work on a horizontal unit that allows both modules to sit sideways.
Nice.
So all of our Empirical Labs 500 series modules actually come in a vertical and a horizontal interface. That way, if you want to put them in this horizontal rack, you can. It also does some pretty handy stuff in the studio. It's got a channel feed option in the back, so that if I'm running a mic pre into a compressor, without having to cable everything, I can actually feed that through, which is handy. And then I/O on the back, you get XLR and TRS.
Nice.
So depending on what you're running in, whether that's a mic'd instrument or a true microphone itself, or line level balance, you can run it through. And then aside from that, that's kind of the standard. It comes with ground lift as well, so depending on what your environment's like, you can eliminate some hum. But designed to be super portable, as well as something you'll park in your studio and leave there forever. We've run into a lot of 500 series units that kind of look out of place, and as silly as it sounds, that flat front panel was one of the big things that was an absolute must while we were designing it.
Nice.
Because sometimes when you've got those gear, we think 500 series in a perfect world finds its home and stays there, but more often than not, they kind of end up as commodities we keep on the shelf. We might sub in, we might never touch again. So by putting in something that looks like a true rack mount piece and stays there, it feels just as home as your distressor, your Fatso, or any other piece of gear you might keep.
Very cool.
Yeah. That's the Empirical Lab stuff. Again, happy birthday, 30th anniversary is really exciting. It's also our first SuperBooth, so we're really excited to be here.
Good, I'm glad.
It's an entirely different crowd, but equally exciting. I mean, I have folks coming in who are like,
Where'd you fly in from yourself?
Nashville, United States.
Okay.
Yeah. And then, of course, Eli is still based out of New Jersey. But I've had folks come around who have never seen a distressor, they don't know what it is, and I get to tell here's where this thing came from, built out of necessity in a guy's studio, and suddenly one of the best-selling compressors in the world. So it's fun. And people get excited about it, especially coming from, I don't know, I'm not a studio guy, I play with synths and Eurorack. Teach me about it. It's 4 knobs, a couple of switches, and you can hear it quickly. So it's a really easy talking piece. So I brought a couple, we kind of tried to make everything as approachable and fun as possible. So the Power Grid 2 is from Quagliardi Audio, a company based out of Argentina. The idea behind it was, especially during COVID times, people were traveling a lot, making music in their bedrooms, in their friends' studios, and moving around a bunch. Actually, his entire line was built out of necessity, but the idea was, I want something that's consistent, that's easy to power, and I can take it wherever I go. So the Power Grid was kind of the solution there. Supplies a lot of power, has a lot of the same channel feed features for building channel strips, but it fits on a desk, or you can put it in a rack mount. So I can just as easily keep it in my studio, do a rough kind of recording, take it out to where the artist might be, and track them in their own space, which is really handy. And then the kind of bigger version of that would be the Power Grid 10, which is a 10-space chassis. All of the same feed functions, all of the same kind of handy quality of life upgrades that you get out of that horizontal Power Grid Duo, but expanded to accommodate bigger chains. And then in that process of building chassis, he said, I'm going to get creative and start making some actual modules. During COVID, specifically like 2021-ish, import to Argentina was very difficult, and Tommy wanted to record music. So he set out to kind of start touching and dabbling and maybe designing his own products so that he could have access to them locally. The 501 was the first product that he actually came out with, and again, it was built out of necessity. He couldn't get access to those high quality pieces of gear in Argentina at the time, so he decided to make one. He built his own transformers and kind of modeled some other gear, but actually had his own topography and design that he put in. So it ended up with a easily clean, transparent sound at lower inputs, and with that X-Rail, it actually bypasses the input transformer for a really, really clean and present sound. It sounds beautiful on vocals, strings, anything you want that air with. And then when you disengage X-Rail, you input or introduce that input transformer, you can drive the snot out of it, and it starts getting pretty nasty. So nice, thick, crunchy vocals if that's what you like.
How much?
How much? Those guys are $699.
$699.
Yep, and that's actually true for all of his 500 series pieces. So they're designed to be high quality, affordable, and very,
Is
very
he building them in
adaptable.
Argentina?
Yes, he is.
Okay.
He actually spends half of his time in the U.S. and half in Argentina. Now that the world's open again, so he builds them wherever he's at. But all of those are built by him and a few other people on his team.
Right.
So yeah, that's like the primary unit. And then after that, he said, well, a mic pre is really no good without some compression. So he took that same input transformer that he built and incorporated it into his 576, which is a FET style compressor. Relatively similar to the standard kind of 1176-ish FETs you'll see, but with some quality of life adjustments. The biggest one for me is the ability with that same X-Rail switch, that's going to be located here, that allows you to bypass that transformer as well. So for really clean, leveling compression, you can use it that way. Or if you're getting a little more creative with it, you can bypass that X-Rail, really drive your input, and get a lot of color out of your compressed signal.
Is that a high-pass filter there?
It is, yeah, for the detector circuit. You can opt between that 90 or 120, so depending on your use case, you can be flexible with it.
So drums, bass.
Correct, yep. It's also got a really nice function called boom. I'm a hip-hop guy myself, so I use the SP303 a lot, and one of the weird features of that sampler was called the vinyl sim, and it effectively does that all buttons in, but crazy through the roof. I like to think it's ducking and pumping and making everything glue. It's a little bit uncontrollable, admittedly. So when he figured out how to make that circuit, he introduced a blend knob. That way, as you're doing that kind of overhead room mic technique where you've got the all buttons in sound, it's a lot. So you dial that back, reduce your input, and you get a very nice, smooth, pumping, full room sound. So all of it was designed with functionality in mind and having a unique sound.
Great.
After all of that, he said, well, after a pre and a compressor, you probably need an EQ. So we started developing an EQ circuit. Again, all functionality in mind. He calls it his parashelving EQ. And the reason he does is because they're two separate EQ bands that actually on the fly switch between a shelf and a belt without any interruption of sound. So if you're dialing in vocals or drums, you get a really quick and immediate shift between a shelf and a belt. That way your sound doesn't get cut. All of that kind of comprises the Quagliardi sound. And with those input transformers driven pretty hot, you can get a really, really crunchy in-your-face sound. When that X-Rail is engaged, you get a nice, smooth, transparent sound. It's actually one of the most transparent preamps that we've heard. So we love using it on orchestral settings, big groups, or intimate vocals really close.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's good to see you guys. Have fun.
Yeah. Chaos. In a good way. So we're in a tent, in a forest, at SuperBooth, with Eventide. How are you?
Doing great. Staying warm.
Yeah, it's nice. It was weird. It was like a little bit chilly, and then super sunny, and now it's somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
I'm happy. It's probably pouring with rain in London at the moment. All right. What do you got going on? Apart from, oh, by the way, I have a pair of these, people. I have a pair of these, and we are in the midst of doing demo of them. Huge fan. This, to me, when I discovered it, was like, it's magic. It is a magic compressor, expander.
51 years, 1 year ago now, 51 years.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna do some fun stuff with it.
Beautiful.
All right. What else do you want to talk about?
Yeah. So we're showing the H9000. So we released the Gen 2 upgrade. So it's a hardware upgrade for the H9000.
Nice.
Gives it twice the power.
Wow.
So and it was already had a lot of power, right?
It did. It had a lot of power.
So the idea with these new modules is that we could run more powerful algorithms. So what we did with this is we brought our micro pitch immersive plugin, which is so it can do quadraphonic, 5.1, 7.1, and then we made a new reverb. So this is an exclusive reverb for the H9000 called Valley, and so this is an immersive hall style reverb.
Nice.
Very limited set of controls, so it's just nice and easy to dial in a great sound. And so this is the first step in taking the H9000 into immersive workflows.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's the perfect unit for that, let's be honest. I mean, it's got to be the most powerful multi-mode effects processor on the market, times 10.
Yeah, and now it's even more powerful.
Now it's even more powerful,
yeah.
and we're in an immersive world where you have to get out a snizzle ton of outputs in all kinds of different directions, so it makes perfect sense.
Right.
Absolutely. Can I hear something, even though nobody else will be able to hear it?
Yes. So if you see here, this is the... It's taking the stereo input, but this is all the delay taps that are feeding to the different channels here. And this one is the reverb here.
Oh, I love that plate. Oh, the micro pitch is so good.
Yeah, it really, so you could just take a stereo signal and really just spread it all around.
Yeah. Give me all three, go on. You know you want to. You know you want to. It's great, it goes from this kind of simplistic, almost Casio VL tone, boop, 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 to suddenly being like, oh, it's a movie.
Yeah.
Incredible. I wish everybody could hear it. Not that it would help anyway, it'd be all in mono. But absolutely beautiful. Yeah. Anything else that you've got new and nutritious you want to talk about while we've got you on camera?
So we're showing the H90 with the latest updates too.
Nice.
So if you don't have an H9000, you could still get some of the same effects from the H90. So we have four new vocal algorithms, so for live pitch correction or harmonization, and then we have 4 new granular algorithms as well.
Amazing. We're here at ASM.
Yes. So I'm Ken with ASM, and this is the Leviasynth. The correct way to pronounce it is Leviasynth, not Leviasynth. So what this is we've been known for our Hydrasynth previously. This is a brand new digital analog hybrid synthesizer. It is an algorithmic synthesizer with analog filters. And what algorithmic means is that we can use our oscillators as modulators in really interesting ways that are not just FM. So if you come over here and look, you'll see we have 8 oscillators and they're all color coded. The whole point of this synthesizer is to allow you to do extremely deep synthesis, but do it in a way that's intuitive to control. So this is actually the voice structure of the synthesizer. Your oscillators go into a digital filter, into an analog filter, to a VCA, through your effects and then out, okay? When we get inside of here, if I wanted to say have a classic FM style patch, you would have a lot of oscillators and a lot of envelopes involved in that, okay? Here's our envelopes. We have 13 envelopes and 5 LFOs, okay? So when we play this, you'll see the envelopes moving here. Now, typically, if I wanted to take a pad or a patch that is like a plucky sound and you wanted to turn it into a pad sound as you're performing, you would have to adjust 8 different envelopes to get that sort of sound. Here, what we can do is we use these bias controls that are capacitive touch. You can increase the attack, decay, release of all of your envelopes at once. And to reset them, you could just simply hold the init button and just tap them, and it'll bring your patch back to normal. So it's very player focused. Our key bed is a poly aftertouch, polytouch key bed. And what that means is that inside of the synthesizer, for instance, if I'm in the filter, I can just simply turn this knob up here and each key will respond independently to my movement, all right? So this gives us really deep expressive control. On top of that, we also have a ribbon controller here, and this can be assigned to your pitch or modulation, anywhere you like. Now, when you have a synthesizer with 8 oscillators, it can be really complex to get a great dynamic range. So we spent an absurd amount of time to get our analog filter to be able to go from a single sine wave, perfectly pure, all the way to bricked into the analog filter, adding all sorts of saturation and harmonics. Then you can go all the way up to 8 oscillators, all coming out with complex harmonics, into a digital filter with digital saturation and digital self-oscillating filters as well, into the analog filter perfectly clean, or you can saturate it. We did this by using this pre-drive knob here, and as I bring this up, you'll see the pre-drive can come up here. What's nice about this is if you look at our VCA, you can actually see the headroom at each stage in the synthesizer. So as I bring this pre-drive up, you'll see that the analog filter is now being saturated. you'll see here that I have no sound coming through because I'm not opening the VCA with an envelope, right? So if I play a key, that would open up. But if you want to do complex generative synthesis or ambient, you can actually open this up just like a modular synthesizer and open the VCA and let it bleed through and still play over top of it. We also have a sequencer in here, 3-track sequencer. This synthesizer is bitimbral, okay? So you can have a multi where you have a lower and an upper, 2 different patches. You can key split them, velocity split them, stack them on top of each other, whatever you want to do. And furthermore, you can go into your voice settings and you can do binaural synthesis. And the binaural synthesis is really interesting because we allow you to pan your oscillators left and right, but you can also pan your modulators independently. So what that would mean is you could have, for instance, FM coming into an oscillator and have the fundamental stay in the center and then the modulated sound going left and right. So you could do psychoacoustic sounds with it, really interesting evolving sounds. We allow our oscillators to run at an extremely high sample rate. So you have really nice precision and just a beautiful range here. These waveforms, if you look, are based around the idea of having a really strong fundamental. So the bass in this synthesizer is really heavy. There's over 300 waveforms in here. Just really quick, I'm going to show you a quick thing about our UI that makes this thing super interactive. When you're in these group edit areas, you're editing all 8 oscillators at once for that section. So I'm in the wave section of oscillator 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If I want to get this waveform over here, it's very easy. I just hold the save button, tap it, copy, paste. Nice. Now I can do that anywhere in the synthesizer. So if you want to just copy paste an envelope from an oscillator into here, all you have to do is hold your save button. So let me initialize it so I know that I'm starting to scratch, right? So in the oscillator we have 5 pages here. If I make this shape like so, right? I want this shape into my analog filters envelope, right? So all I have to do is hold save, press it, and you'll notice that it's flashing. And then I touch here, and now in the analog filters envelope, it's the same shape. So it's very easy to copy paste parameters and move throughout the synthesizer extremely quickly. The analog filter was done in combination with Cyril Lance, who he's kind of a very well-known analog engineer and has done some very well-known synthesizers. So you can look that up, and he helped us get the noise floor extremely low and the gain staging extremely high. So it is just a fantastic synthesizer. And I know we don't have audio in this video, but I invite you to come and check out our other videos.
Florian is a great keyboard player.
Total synth nerds.
Yes.
And it's obvious that you have already won me over.
Yes, I eat, sleep, and breathe this, and I invite people to come onto our Facebook group. If they have questions, we are always available to help out our customers.
The point is that most of the audience, because it's not my channel, it's his channel.
Yes.
Most people in the audience will not be as synth nerdy as we two are.
Well, I'll say this.
He's got rather technical.
Your channel has people who are using complex desks and signal routing. This synthesizer is a synthesizer that invites playing with all sorts of parameters. And if you're familiar, tweaking. And if you're the kind of person who likes experimenting with your compressors, experimenting with your EQs, and changing little subtleties in your sound, that's what this is all about. It comes stock with your factory bank for the players and the people who are performing on songs and on stage. Right now we have James Poyser of The Roots, who's on the Tonight Show, using this live. The players are good to go, but it's the nerds who are really going to have a great time on this because it allows you to dive extremely deep, and it's not tedious to go that deep, which is beautiful. So,
well, did you have some more point to make as well?
Yes, one thing, because as you might know, I love the Hydrasynth. And it's probably one of the most influential synthesizers of the 2020s.
That's what I want to hear.
It totally is, because it really turned.
It's pretty much the only modern synth I know the name of.
And here comes the catch. How is this supposed to follow up such a benchmark in synthesizer history?
One thing that I would say about this is I think that there's a little bit of a misconception that when we did this, that we were taking the Hydrasynth and maybe the Hydrasynth Deluxe, and then just slapping analog filters on it and changing a few things. That is not the case here. This is a completely new digital platform underneath. This is a completely new synthesizer ground up. The way that we do the DSP, the way we handle the processing, everything is done specifically for this synthesizer. Okay. Let me give you a quick, I'm gonna give you, go ahead and play this patch right here. And
you play it. Sorry, you better keep on
So I'll throw my headphones on so I know what I'm doing.
People, so you can't hear it.
So as you do this, you'll hear how smooth it is, unlike my voice cracking. Now, what's beautiful, a nice improvement here is in the Hydrasynth, we had to go into the mod matrix to assign polyphonic aftertouch. Here, almost every place in this synthesizer that can be affected by a modulation, we have poly aftertouch on a dedicated knob. So if I turn this up now, right? Now, if I take a patch that's like a basic, FM patch, like this guitar patch, and I want it to be a pad, I can just turn this here, and now all of these envelopes are going to be adjusted, right? And to reset it, so it's extremely playable on stage quickly, and you don't have to ruin your patch when you're doing it. You can get back to it easily. You can also print that to your patch, or you can choose to ignore it in your patch. So it can be a sound design tool, or it can just be a performance tool.
Amazing.
One more question.
Yes.
When you designed this synth, you included a few very particular design cues.
Yes.
First and foremost, this beautiful teal color there,
yes,
which gives us a hint by which synthesizer it might be inspired by, which is, of course, the famous Yamaha DX7.
Well, I'll say this. This is taking the idea of something like FM and turning it on its head. So, yes.
May I get in here one more time?
Of course.
Because if you come from a more traditional synthesizer approach, like if you are like somebody who played the DX7 in the 80s, for example, what would this synthesizer give you, both access-wise and sound-wise?
So an interesting aspect of that sort of thing is the patch that I was just showing him was a kind of DX7-ish type of patch, cool. Right? So inside of here we have this thing called vintage digital mode, right? Yeah. Let me throw you these so I can. I'm going to explain this.
Algorithms.
Yeah, I'm going to. So in here we have vintage digital mode, right?
Okay.
When you're in vintage digital mode, it's actually going to lower the modulation depth a bit, or actually increase the modulation depth and take your modulators to 8-bit, right? So it gives you, if you listen here, it's going to be very glassy, right?
Okay.
Now if I turn this off, this is a pretty significant change. It'll be much more mellow.
Okay.
Right? And that's because you have a much higher resolution in your modulators.
That's cool.
The algorithms...
You basically included the synth boomer mode.
Yeah, and of course you can bit crush the whole synth too.
Okay.
So in the algorithms here, right, if I initialize this here and I just give you can see the algorithms in a thumbnail, right? So this thumbnail is showing you the color-coded oscillators, right, and the arrangement of them, all right? So I'm in this algorithm. You could go oscillator 3 into 2 into 1. Now typically that would be phase modulation into each other, right? That's very normal. But what you can do with this is, if I go to oscillator 2, which is going into 1, right, this would be FM here, okay? But if I change this to pulse width modulation, for example, now you see I have pulse width modulation happening from that oscillator. If I drop this down an octave, you'll see 2 cycles of the waveform and then pulse width modulation, right? So this lets you already do some really interesting things that you couldn't do on something like a regular FM synth. Now I still have oscillator 3 going into my pulse width modulation. If I take that and I start bringing up the oscillator 3 level, the FM is now inside of your pulse width modulation. So you can chain different synthesis methods inside of each other. That's why it's algorithmic synthesis and not FM synthesis.
You have like a few very creative people among the preset designers. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Well, mostly me. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, no, we have some fantastic sound designers. Jexus was brought on board, who I'm a fan of Jexus.
I'm a big fan
years.
of Jexus. I mean, if you haven't checked him out and you're into creative synth sounds, I think he's the benchmark, I would say.
Yeah, he's one of those guys, like, I like a lot of lo-fi and strange sounds, and like he's one of the guys that does a very similar sort of sound with that, so it was great to bring him on board. Also, in-house, I mean, our guys are storied engineers and storied designers who've been in this industry for ages. So we utilize that to really create a factory bank that was all about bringing past sounds into the future and then allowing you to expand. We will be continuing to do more patch banks as well that get even more adventurous. But if you look at the browser, for instance, our browser has improved greatly from the Hydrasynth. Here, if I want to do a category, I can just very quickly jump into a category and then say I want this Rhodes here, right? So this is the Suncase MK1, and let's grab these headphones real quick so that you can hear this, because I want you to see the dynamic range that's possible on this. If I play it softly, right, and then we give you controls over like hardness, so these sounds are all about being very playable. But the beautiful thing is when you start getting adventurous and you can open up your VCA and let it bleed. You can do complex like modular patches in this and then save them. So unlike my modular, I'm not saving patches on that. Here you can.
But so even if you are like more of a traditional player, there is like a lot of presets in there that just let you play in a band.
Yeah, well, see, we knew that the sound designers would want to make their own sounds, right, and really dig into it. But we knew that the players practice playing more than they practice sound design. So it was important to give them what they needed first, and then allow the sound designers to really geek out and have fun with it. There's plenty of memory in here for extra sounds, and just you can browse by bank, category, name, sound designer. So if you wanted to get to a Jexus patch, for instance, you can go right to his name here, and then you can scroll through, and you can see all of our sound designers' names right in there. So it's very easy to navigate this synthesizer. It's all about, ASM is all about user interface. We really want to bring ideas of synthesis that gets people excited, but make it usable. Make it so that you don't have to, you can stay on the surface level or you can dive really deep.
One more thing, when looking at this like beautiful flowchart here, one of the things that I appreciated, one of the most appreciative aspect about the Hydrasynth was the great FX section. Did you implement some improvements or what we already know from the Hydrasynth?
They
more or less the same?
They are similar effects, but they are not identical.
Okay.
So and this is an area where the increased resolution and platform power is going to allow us to do more things. So we don't like talking about the future as far as what we might, we don't want to speculate on the future what we can do, but this platform just allows us to do kind of some of the things that are in our head. The other thing I would point out is this is not just a way to jump into a section of the synth, it is actually a way to patch your synthesizer. So just like in a modular synthesizer, you would patch a source to a destination, an LFO to your pitch, right? You can do that in here easily. LFO to the pitch, and it is already created. You don't have to dive into like a spreadsheet or anything to set up any modulations. It's right here, and then you just set the amount positive or negative, and you're good to go. Also, if you wanted to set something like a macro, let's say I wanted to control this digital filter from a macro, it's extremely fast. I just press macro edit, touch a slot, touch the digital filter, give it an amount, and then name it. So here I can say filter, and it's done. So I have, and I spelled it wrong, but that's fine. So now I have a macro right on here, and it's so fast to create these macros that it doesn't feel tedious, because a lot of us have ADD. You can tell by the way that I speak. We want to move quick when we're creating.
We just had this whole conversation, it's okay.
Yeah,
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, no idea.
We want to move quickly when we're creating. We don't want to be stuck in the tedium of it, right? So this allows you to quickly punch in your names, quickly save things, and just keep it moving.
We talked a lot about like traditional players, but we're in Berlin. It's the city of techno.
Oh man!
And I already noticed like the arpeggiator and sequencer control. With a parameter, I can't really tell what it's going to do. Can you tell a little bit more about that?
Nope. So our entropy control is a unique control that allows you to basically rearrange arpeggiations and maybe pitches and timings and all sorts of things, right? I'm talking to one of the designers over here behind me. So this is Dominic Al. He's one of the designers. And
nice to meet you.
So entropy will allow you to do some really interesting changes quickly from a single knob on here, but we also do things like ARP, ratcheting, chance, that sort of thing, probability. But just to give you a quick example of the Berlin aspect of it, let's see if I can pull up a...
the Berlin aspect.
The Berlin aspect. Like
the Berlin aspect,
sleeping,
indeed.
Nothing and not being sober. Or...
Let me tell you, I got no sleep last night. So, all right, so I'll just do this from scratch really quick. If I have let's just say I had a saw wave here, right? And I want this analog filter envelope to be my VCA's envelope. I can easily just touch here. I've created that already. I'm gonna go to my initial level. Now I have this set up. So what I'm doing is I'm gonna let this we have these dedicated controls for your filters here, right? So I'm just quickly setting up some dedicated control, and I could also do it inside of the screen as well, right? So now I just have this pluck sound that's happening, and if I want, I can sequence it with our new sequencer. So in our sequencer, I can set the length. I'm going to do 16 steps and I'll lock it, and then I can go to my track edit here. If I hit shift and record, I'm in step sequencer mode, right? So then I could just right. So now I have this step sequence in here.
Okay.
Now this is the part that you're going to love, okay? So I have a step sequence going here, but what you'll notice is I've got these other purple boxes here. These are different parameters inside of the sequencer. These are all modulation destinations, and I can also use them in the sequencer. You'll notice there's a blank one here. There's something special coming very soon. So we are not done development with this unit. But if I go to multi-trigger here, I can actually put this on, let's say, a macro here. And what I'm doing is I'm just setting up a simple macro to go to the multi-trig, and I'll hit exit, I'll name it, multi, enter. And now, when I hit play on this.
Okay, the ratchets, nice.
And it'll go, the ratchets.
Go into the audio range.
They go into audio range,
yeah.
so you can do AM synthesis with your ratchets. I mean, you can do 1/32nd step ratchets on a single division, okay? And
That's
this
impressive.
So this can be sequenced inside of here, right? And I'll just do this very quickly for you. If I set the length, all right, and then I go into my track edit, this is the macro track here. So I'm just gonna touch the macro that I want to edit, and I'm just raising a couple of steps here, and then I'll go to the next page, this one here. And now when I hit play, right? And then I can, now if I'm lucky, I can try to blow out his eardrums.
Great stuff.
So yeah.
It's like the Futurist 303 in a way.
The resonance of this filter can be extreme, right?
Yeah.
But it's very precisely controlled. So if you take the resonance level to 109, it will not self-resonate. You go to 110 and it'll self-resonate, but it'll self-resonate at a lower level. If you go to 128, it jumps up even higher. You can have all 8 oscillators running out at once, turn the self-oscillation all the way up, and your resonance can be 12 dB louder than your oscillators. Yeah. In most polysynths, it would be 5 dB lower than your oscillators. Okay. So you can really get that kind of like MS-20 style screaming sound, or you can get like a more mellow polysynth sound out of it. Really flexible.
Now, as you mentioned, like vintage synthesizers, we can like circle back from the techno thing, because it's got one thing that is a feature of a very legendary synthesizer, which is the ribbon controller.
Yes.
Which a lot of like more traditional musicians will love, because it's like it takes away like the stepping of many synthesizer controls and gives you like full range.
What's really beautiful is that you can do relative, right? So so you can do absolute ranges on it, but the relative range is really great for a player, because when you're playing it, say you play a chord here and you want to slide up a fifth. Well, on a pitch wheel, that might be hard to get it just exact, right? But here, you could literally put your hand down here and I could slide up a fifth here, and you're going to have a fifth pitch bend up there. If I want to slide down a fifth, I can slide it down this way. Yeah, and it doesn't have to be from the center. It could be from anywhere. I could use this C down here and go like that. It's just easy wherever your hand is. If I'm playing down here, I could do that same thing over here because it's relative, not absolute.
Great.
But we know that kind of like controlling mechanism from the legendary Yamaha CS80.
Yes.
Can it do Blade Runner?
Oh, absolutely. Matter of fact,
I think maybe we record that afterwards when there's actually a recording device for that here, because I think that's something that is interesting for your viewers.
So you'll notice the second patch in the multi is CS Takes Flight, right? Now the reason we did that is this is a multi patch, so it's actually 2 patches in one. You have a lower layer, and when you press lower, you'll notice that the panel turns blue. And when you press upper, it turns yellow. You can set those colors to be whatever you want. That's the default. So you can edit the 2 layers independently, or you press multi and you can be editing them both at the same time, okay? So this is an extremely powerful way to quickly edit your synthesizer. If I press multi again, you'll see key split here. I can even crossfade, right? You can change your octaves, upper and lower. You can also do your panning upper and lower. We didn't even get into the binaural synthesis aspect of this. I can turn this stereo and then split my oscillators into stereo oscillators and send 8 analog filters left, 8 analog filters right, and modulate between that in really interesting ways. It allows you to just have a playground of a synthesizer inside of this thing. We really tried to make it as open as possible. There are certain things in the Hydrasynth that we would lock down, like you can have different trigger sources for your envelopes in here. Well, in this one, you can actually completely disconnect all of your envelopes from the keys and just have it all be generative from LFOs, from the CV inputs, from anywhere else. It gets really, really creative and heady very fast.
Great stuff. I'll take 2.
Yeah, sure.
We got that in camera.
I think you should take 12.
No, it's not allowed to sell stuff here, actually.
Oh, well, but, verbal, all is good enough, yeah?
We can walk outside.
Hi, everybody. I'm going to mess this up. It's Malta.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes!
Correct.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
And we're here at Korg, and I just watched a video by Sonic State, Sonic State, who do all the synth stuff.
Yeah.
And they were talking about your dialer demo, which I haven't even walked around the other side to look at yet. So what is all that about?
Yeah, we have a little telephone over there. You want to?
Yeah, I do. I want to know what it is.
We just have a little telephone that's connected to our second booth.
Where's the second booth?
Over there by the trees.
The
Korg Berlin.
Yeah.
Excuse me?
We haven't been outside yet.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you definitely have to check it out there.
Yeah.
Because we have some of our instruments to try out there, the Phase 8, the NTS stuff.
Oh, okay.
And, yeah.
So this is almost like your promo, your marketing booth to push people to your other booth.
Exactly. Yeah. And we also have some new stuff to show.
Okay.
Right here, but you can't play anything, unfortunately.
So Phase 8 NTS4 mixer kit.
Yeah.
Okay.
So these are just the 8 tables that are out there.
Okay.
Where you can try out stuff.
Oh, it's ringing.
Yeah.
Wish you could hear this on the thing. Good morning. It's Warren Hewitt here at Produce Like a Pro. We're filming something with Malta here, and we wanted to book a time to come over and film with you guys and see how this works, how your dialer demo works. Free lemonade in the afternoon. There you go. Excellent. So we're going to head over there this afternoon.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
What was around the other side, actually? What's all this?
We have some stuff to show there. So this is what's coming out next. It's the NTS4. It's a little mixer that you can build yourself.
Nice.
And it actually has a lot of features. We didn't announce everything yet, but it will have an USB audio interface and a MIDI interface.
Wow.
And 10 inputs. So that's 2 mono inputs and 4 stereo. And it works with modular levels as well, but it's mainly meant to be used with little machines like the Volcas or the NTS stuff.
Great.
Yeah.
But it's going to have an interface in it, so will you be able to record a vocal through it?
If you obviously you have to use an adapter, but yeah, why not?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. This is a prototype of an upcoming product that will hopefully be announced later this year. Yeah, the features and
Why
everything.
Why does it say Yamaha on it? No, I'm just joking.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming by.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.